Start video. Post tweet. It can't really post a tweet right now because my shit is all different. All right, let me move the spotlight. Put the sun directly on me so I look light skinned. Can y'all guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right,
You're
let's
Yep.
make
already light
sure.
skinned.
Nigga, I ain't no
You're
fucking light
already light
skin.
skinned.
The fuck?
How you gonna get more light skinned?
I ain't no damn light skin ass nigga. The fuck? Yo,
You
oh,
just a shade
It's pretty
darker.
light.
You just a shade darker than fucking Thug Nasty.
a shade. That's a thick ass shade.
Guys walking around calling himself a red
Yeah,
bone.
I was darker than you when I worked outside, and I'm white.
Yo, but you know the funny thing. I ain't fucking with y'all. The funny
I'm white
thing.
as fuck now because I stay indoors more. But
The funny thing is, like, you get like a lot of other like black people. They be like, "Oh my god, he's so dark." I'm like, okay. And then if you're like, "I'm not dark, I'm just brown," they be like, "Oh, you don't want to be black." Like the fuck?
Hey, you're brown.
I'm
man,
brown.
when I used to work outdoors, we worked with two Mexicans. They made fun of me. They're like, "Well, "You're more Mexican than we are."
Now I
Oh,
got
I
some.
got dark. I got dark as fuck.
I'm just making sure that the shit I can see. Okay, so I got some public service announcements. So, um, the thing that I want to tell you guys is that because of the situation, hold on. What the fuck is he talking about? Hold on. Huh? All right, that's you. That's you. That's you. It's probably gonna be a thunderstorm soon. They claim. Let me get this shit. I should have done. Actually, no. I got 2 minutes. Shit, I can prop on my feet and shit. So I got into this argument with this Naughty Dog developer. Actually,
You sure did.
Neil Druckmann
no,
No,
some
on his
Asian
sock
trick.
on it. No, it would
Keep
Asian
probably be
the
Neil
hound,
lesbian.
Druckmann on his sock account.
keep the hound on him though.
Yo, she was an Asian.
He's a handle my light work.
She was of the Asian persuasion,
I'm
and
telling you, that's probably Neil Druckmann on his sock account.
he's stupid. She was mad because she said that all men, she said most men were mad because what's her name, Laura Bailey got the award, and I was like, why are you saying
People were mad
men?
that
Like
Laura
she
Bailey
no,
got
she said no, she
the
said
award.
men. Most men were mad because of the award, and I'm thinking to myself like, oh, it does come up. Okay,
Wait,
hold on.
when
Someone
were
text me
men
this.
mad about Laura Bailey getting the best voice actress?
Shh.
It was on Twitter or something.
It was on. She just wrote that. Like that's another thing I realized about like these people that do this whole victimhood shit, man. Like they want to be victims. So she posted like men are mad, and I was like, what men?
Yeah,
And
yeah. I
then
haven't
I
seen
was like,
anybody
what's? I said
mad.
I said what's all this hate? Like you know what I'm saying? So she goes and literally this is a Naughty Dog developer. By the way, this is why I can't stand them. It's a Naughty Dog developer. So she goes and she looks through my Twitter account about a month in, right? And
Yeah,
finds that one tweet where I says that little girl that's playing what do you call it? That's playing Ellie.
yeah.
She gets pissed off and she's like, "Oh, coming from the person who called a little girl ugly with your 42 views." And then she retweeted it on her page. And mind you, she has like 15,000 like whatever followers or whatever. So she goes ahead, she posts,
Yeah.
she retweets. She was like, "I just wish people would block me." So then all the LGBTQRSTUVs, he, him, they, rainbows, decided to jump on. No,
Wow.
I'm being serious. That's exactly what it was. I'm not even
Motherfucker
lying,
went through the whole alphabet.
or whatever it is.
He
Damn.
want to be
Did you guys know?
Fuck.
Did you
That's
guys know
inclusion.
that there
That's all
was?
that is.
Did you guys know that there was 72 genders?
That's
What?
I thought there was two,
preposterous.
but
No,
Yeah, that's
there is. I
preposterous.
swear to God, there
The
are those.
hell is going on, man?
Well,
So
there's actually three. One is so rare that it doesn't even get counted.
what's that?
Well, intersex people.
No, yeah, the hermaphrodite.
Nah, niggas. No,
Unless they get
she
more
goes
both.
ahead and she goes ahead and she says all this shit, and then I had the whole fucking allied community jump on my shit about telling me that men I'm part of the problem by saying not all men. That's what she states. I'm part of the problem because all men are fucked up according to the Q with LGBTQs and whatever other letters and rainbows and he him days. So one guy sent me a message, right? He sent me a tweet, and he shows me. He says, here's the situation." He says, "Why saying not all men is making me a part of the problem." And then I go and I read some of the I screenshotted it, and some girl was like, "I'm afraid that if a man is there, he's gonna he's gonna do something to me. I'm definitely afraid of men." That's what she states, right? So the guy was like, "Well, if I see a bitch choking or getting fucked up, yeah, I'm just gonna walk right over this bitch." And he was like, "You're missing the point. You're missing the point. This is what you're supposed to be doing." And that's what I'm trying to find the fucking screenshots. I really am. Hold on. Hold up. Hold on. Because this shit was out of control,
And
man.
she's a Naughty Dog employee.
I kid you
Mm-hmm.
the fuck not. Somebody's like, it's so.
This is the Gabby girl, yeah.
Yo, you're loud. I think it's the Gabber chick. Yeah. Let me.
How the fuck do I fix my microphone?
Is it camera? What the fuck is it? Oh, I think I sent it to somebody, so I'm just gonna have to look at it from there. Okay, here we go. I sent it to somebody. You're missing the point. If you see a woman in distress, even laid on the ground, you announce your presence and ask if they are okay, and you do so at a distance. You hunker down 2 to 3 meters away from them, and not right on top of anyone. And by this I mean do this as a man. If you see a child in distress, you do this too. You keep your safe distance. What are we, animals? Like, what is this? What is this?
Where the hell is these unwritten rules come from, bro? Like, what?
That's what I'm saying.
This
Like,
in the book I
at
missed?
first I had a long, like, contemplate. Hold on, me. Okay, cool. I had a long I contemplated this shit on my, like, I thought about this shit, and I was like, should I even try to be myself? I was even gonna change the no filter podcast. Cause I just didn't. I was like, I don't want to offend anybody, but at the same time, some of the shit is ridiculous. It's like at any point in time, you could just become like such a fucked up. You're just going to be offended by something. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know what they want me to do anymore. I don't get it. And I decided I won't use any like vulgar language when it comes to describing these people. I'll just I'll say it differently. So instead of that chick from Game of Thrones, instead of calling her ugly, I'll just say she's very strange looking, which she is.
Oh, you talking about the tall one?
No,
Tall chick?
the little girl that's playing
Little
Ellie.
girl, man. You talking about
They was like, how dare you say that a little girl is ugly? Bitch, she is ugly. Why did you stutter? Shit, I've been called monkeys and niggers the whole fucking time. When I was younger, when I was 8 and 9 years old, by all sorts of walks of life, and ugly. Let that shit roll off your fucking back. The fuck shit, I'll never see this bitch in my life. All of a sudden, like 13, 12, and 13 years old is, you're so, you don't even know. You get this bitch cussing on Game of Thrones. But you're going to say that all of a sudden she's such a little girl and shit like that. But anyway, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what kind of shit is this? Like, you all these unspoken things, rules, that's malleable, so you can just change the shit at any point in time. So if it doesn't suit you, you can change it. Basically, she was pissed off at the fact that I called her out for saying that most men are bad, and it's ridiculous. I shouldn't have to feel bad for being a fucking man. You know what I'm saying? Nor should somebody feel bad about being a woman. I'm not a fucking rapist or any other things that they claim. Nor any white people. They're not fucking rapists by default. What the fuck
Is
are you
it me
doing?
or is Josh Biden?
I'm what? Okay, I hear
He
me?
was
It
asking.
sounds
No,
like
he's
it's
not.
Biden.
He's not biting for me.
I don't hear the bite either.
Yeah, that's your ass. shitty ass internet connection. Anyway, we'll start the show. I'm sorry about that. I went on to a fucking tangent and we're 7 minutes in. I apologize for any inconvenience. Today, we are going to be talking about a couple of different subjects, a lot of them. We're going to try to get through this as fast as we can on the No Filter Gamecast today. So, let's introduce everybody that's here. I think Killer Tay just flew out. Did he? Hello? Hello?
He probably lost reception. He'll probably be back.
It came out. Let's start off with you, Jeremy. Tell us about yourself. What was the last game you played?
I'm playing Days Gone again because we talked about that shit last week, so I've been on that again.
You know,
I was supposed to be clearing out my backlog, but then we started talking about it, and goddamn it,
you know what's funny?
back on that shit.
Did you guys ever notice how you can catch someone else's enthusiasm for something?
Yes.
That's why Let's Plays are so fucking popular. Like you see somebody like really enjoying themselves, you be like, oh shit. I do that shit all the time. That's why I'm playing God of War actually.
Yeah, I seen Thrash playing Yeez or whatever, and as soon as that shit hit a sale, I'm gonna get that. It reminds me of like a old From Software or not From Software, SquareSoft game.
Yeah, they used to
like
compete with each other back then, but Square's software had a little bit more polish or a little bit more mainstream.
They had a lot of RPGs on the PS1 that were just bangers. I mean, tons of one after another.
It was the
They went downhill after becoming Enix.
It was the open world genre of back then. That's what they used to do. But okay, moving on to
yeah, but they were really good at it.
No, I know because they had the formula. They already had formulas. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they did from Super Nintendo and shit. Chrono Trigger.
So the only thing that they did was basically they didn't have to make 3D environments. You just do a picture in the background and take a picture of that shit and lay your characters on top of it and call it a day. And then have the same mechanics or graphics or whatever the case is. Which is why I'm not a big RPG fan because it wasn't 3D. But either way, Magnificent Black. How are you today?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm alright. What about what about the games that you've been playing? What have you been playing lately?
Today went over some Avengers, and then actually me and Nelson was playing some Tekken 7 today, so that was fun.
Nelson.
Yeah, man.
It's me.
Nani.
Nelson Gaming.
Nelson
Gaming.
That's PG-13 starts frightening himself.
Yeah, but nothing new. Just playing some old games right now, trying to clear out some of the backlog.
Nice.
Well, I already finished those games. I just trying to get the platinum.
Sometimes you better go back.
On the Avengers. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you better go back. You want to go back.
But there is new content on the Avengers. It's not the new content. It's kind of like I don't know, man. I don't think they did a great job, man. They could have did better, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm downloading it right now.
What is up with you, yo? You are getting on my nerves. You entitled bitch.
Nah, the new content's okay. I'm just, if I'm gonna grade it, it's like a.
I had enough of them. They could
do better. No, they can do better. They can do better. That's me as an Avengers fan. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, don't be sorry.
Be better.
Be better. That's right. That's what it's about.
What about you, Haas? What's going on with you, man?
I'm good. I've been playing some Crash 4, and some Fortnite.
The upgrade?
Fortnite.
Yeah, Crash 4. Bro, Crash 4 is fucking hard, dude.
It is with the changing of the illumination.
Yeah, I don't remember 1, 2, and 3 being this hard.
Oh, they're fucking hard.
Actually, 1 is fucking really hard. You can get through it.
Yeah, 1's hard as fuck.
You can get through it, but actually getting those crystals and shit like that on the bonus stages, oh no. You gotta be precise. Pin fucking perfect. Killer Tay, 229. What's going on, man?
What did it do?
What have you been playing?
Chilling, man, chilling. I've been playing a little bit of Greedfall and still trying to fucking get some of this goddamn Assassin's Creed out so I can hurry up and get it off my goddamn hard.
You might as well not play anything.
That's what I want too.
Don't play.
Yeah, it sucks.
Don't play nothing else. Just blow through it because you mixing those two together, man. You're not gonna have a good time. Try to juggle those.
Yeah,
games.
I mean,
it's not bad.
Yeah,
but,
I've been trying to.
It's a grind.
Get both of these fucking games. Yeah, especially Assassin's.
Holy fuck.
But so is low key. Like, what game was I playing? Oh, fucking Demon Souls. That's a fucking grind too, man. That's a grind.
It's not difficult though. It's like, go find this, go find that, go find this.
Yeah,
that's a whole fucking game.
The only thing difficult about Demon Souls is making it to the boss. The bosses are the easiest part.
Well, they deliberately sit things in front of you.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the problem that I'm dealing with. They sit things in front of you, and you be like, I can't even run past this shit. Like, not only did you kill me on some fucking BS, not only did you kill me on that, either your fucked up camera, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't see. I missed a step, and this nigga fell clean off the fucking level. Or you set 7 enemies in front of me, all of which can lock onto you. So I can't. I gotta dip and dodge them, and when I finally do that shit, then I got this stupid ass boss. The bosses themselves aren't even hard, low key, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. But I already get. But that's a grind just to get yourself strong. You know what I'm saying. You gotta keep doing shit over and over and over again until you kind of get the gist of the game, and then, I mean, I don't know. It's an acquired taste, yeah. And sometimes I, I'll see what I can do about it. But let's get to the
Yeah, I
topic,
love
right?
those. I love those games, though, dude.
We got a lot of shit to talk about. The first thing is, it's probably not going to be a lot of time for. I mean, we don't need a lot of time to talk about this. But there was rumblings about Microsoft buying Discord, and people were like, "I don't believe it," because it was $10 billion. Things of that nature. I mean, this is way more than gaming, first and foremost. Just like Sony invested in anime for whatever. But it looks like because of Microsoft having so much money, they can just throw that shit around. But
I didn't even know
yeah,
it's worth $2 billion.
it's the implications. You know what I'm saying? It's like if somebody tries to buy Netflix,
Yeah.
they would probably have to spend like $50 billion to buy them.
Maybe more than that. I think they spend more than that a
Probably
quarter on fucking content.
Probably like, you know what I'm saying. They probably have to do a lot more. It's the perceived value, and that's economics and shit like that, which I'm not too privy on. But how I feel about Discord being purchased, because apparently Discord was looking for somebody to buy them. Amazon was in talks, and Microsoft is obviously going to just like overrule that shit because of the cash flow
Yeah.
they have.
Well, I mean, they still partner with them, aren't they?
Who partner with Amazon?
With Discord. No, with Discord.
Who is partnered?
Microsoft.
Everybody's partnered with Microsoft. No, Microsoft's planning on buying the motherfuckers all together, like flat out. They own it. But there's 2 concerns that I would have with this, because I really actually don't like Discord. I don't like it. If I can find another program to use, I will use it. Because Discord, to me, is very cumbersome. It's extremely confusing to find. I still don't know a lot of the ins and outs for this shit. But more importantly, it's not stable at all. It's not stable. People drop out for no reason. Like, I have a gigabit of internet. I should not be falling out of it at any point, ever.
Yeah, they use like most of the bandwidth for it is used for people that pay for like the turbo.
Turbo.
So there's people, yeah, like
that makes sense.
you get a better stable connection if you're paying for it. Everybody that's why we always get kicked off, because free version instead of paying for the extra bandwidth from.
Are you hello?
Oh, can you hear me?
You keep cutting out. Where you at? Driving?
Yeah. Shit, I didn't know I was cutting out.
You-
But yeah,
you
if
cut
you
out- you
if you
cut out
pay
every
if you
damn
pay
time. I be trying to put this shit pieces together.
That's part of being on the road, though.
Mhm.
yeah, if you're shit, I cutting out. It ain't that much fucking ain't no clouds in the sky right
No, I
now.
can make out what
Yeah,
you're
if
saying.
you pay for it, it's they got like the service plan. Pay for it, and you'll get more bandwidth to where you'll have a better stable connection. That's why we always
Mhm.
get kicked off, or we have fucking connection issues with it sometimes, because we all use free version.
Sort of like right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so let's start with you before you just completely fly out the chat. What do you think about it, the purchase? Because it's most likely imminent.
Well, if Microsoft do purchase them, I'm pretty sure like the free version would be a lot better. Be getting kicked off as.
You think
But-
Microsoft's going to foot the bill? You think they're going to do it for free? Fix it?
Fucking,
If they do,
they don't
purchase
do nothing
them,
for
I
free.
don't think
Azure
they will.
Cloud?
I don't think they will. I mean, maybe. I don't know. They
You're
might
the most
still keep like the
optimistic
free version.
nigga I've
for-
ever seen in my life.
I'm because like like with Discord, I only use it
I
for
guess you
fucking
believe.
podcasts.
I guess you
So I
believe
don't.
that the COVID is gonna be over tomorrow. No, but I feel what you're saying. What do you think the reasoning is for them to purchase it? You think it's all about gaming? Hello, it's me. Are you there? And
I think we lost him.
yep.
He's gone.
Let's talk.
He'll be
Let's.
back.
What about he'll be back. What about what do you guys say about this? What do you think? What do you think
Um,
about it? Do you think that Microsoft? What's the reasoning for purchasing them? And you think it's a good idea?
it's user acquisition. They just want more users and they want the demographic. They want to harvest all your data. That's pretty much it. Because Microsoft's been interested in TikTok, it's been interested in Pinterest. And if you look at what they own, Microsoft owns, they own Lickendale. So that's like professional. So that's like 30 to 50-year-olds. And Discord is more of a youth group. So they can have all that data and do whatever with it, what these major corporations do with all that data. Because Discord doesn't really make any money.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it? What is it really? Like how do you monetize Discord? Like you got Turbo, but not many people subscribe to Turbo. Like what do you reckon? Like 100,000,
How
people
how do they
subscribe
get
to
their
Turbo.
money?
Yeah,
How do they
maybe.
get their money?
That's the reason they're looking for a sale. Well, Discord is looking for a sale because they got really big. They got like 200 million users or whatever.
They're not broke, are they?
Yeah. Yeah,
No, but they're
most of them
getting
from PC though.
How they
VC.
getting access?
They keep on getting VC, keep on getting loan from the banks. That's all these new tech companies start off. They don't really make any profit, so
Oh,
that's why they're looking for a sale.
I mean that pretty much.
If they go, yeah, I'm a bit concerned of Microsoft buying everything. Like if they buy this and they buy another publisher, it's very concerning.
What about you?
How would that be
They're gonna buy
concerning?
somebody
I'm
because
about
they're
to,
gonna control the whole fucking narrative of everything.
Yeah,
I was about to
yeah,
talk.
they
I was
can
about to talk.
They
control.
already got you. They're in the YouTube guys. They're gonna
Hold on.
your
I'm gonna ask you.
media.
I'm gonna ask you. You gonna get your time. You gonna get your time.
Sorry.
I'll
Think about it. If they control Discord, they can
I
vertically
got
integrate.
something. I was gonna call you Majestic Black, yo. You should change your name.
Majestic Black.
Majestic Black.
Thought of a steed coming out of a fucking ocean with a sunset behind him. What do you?
I was just thinking about that the other day, so that's why I was like, I was thinking the same shit.
Magnificent. What do you gotta say? Why do you think they're doing it, and do you think it's good for Discord?
Man, I don't know one way or another why they're doing it. They sometimes, Microsoft probably make acquisitions just for technology reasons. They want the technology. They might be buying it to integrate it into something else. I mean, they bought the Skype, right? And then Skype went down. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like sometimes their purchases don't make sense sometimes because a lot of the purchases don't end up doing well. You saw the same thing happen with that they had the streaming service, that was basically trying to be like
Mixer.
Twitch.
Mixer.
Yeah, Mixer went down. I don't know why that purchase didn't make any sense, and they didn't keep at it for a long time either. They saw it wasn't making money, and then they got rid of it. So is it good for Discord? I don't know. That depends on what Microsoft is built like. Skype is gone, Mixer is gone, so it's like it's
Well,
hard to say, man.
Skype has been integrated with Microsoft Teams, which is, by the
Right, it's
way,
called Microsoft Teams now.
what
Right.
a horrible fucking program. And it
Nah, I
records
like Skype better, definitely.
and it records everything that you do. Everything. You cannot delete, at least on our workstations at work, you can't delete your conversations. All that shit is data.
Yeah.
Haas has been saying, it's all data. What they want is to have that, because they sell it to other people. That's what they really care about. I think when it came to Mixer,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think, because they wanted a streaming service, and I guess they thought it was going to get popular because of all the grievances that they had with people had grievances with Twitch, and they thought that you're going to be able to leave Twitch and you're going to have a whole platform of your own You know what I'm saying? So you can start it off. You can start it off, and you know, what's his name? The fucking ninja dude. You know, he was going to do all that shit, and that didn't work.
Right.
I mean, that's what happens when you have a lot of money. You're just spending it on shit. You know what I mean? Your objective is to make more money. You have no drive to really focus on quality. And I think also, too, they keep purchasing companies that are struggling. Because I guess they're just
They're
going to look at.
cheaper.
They're going, well, 10 billion?
Yeah,
I think
that's not cheap.
I think I think what's happening.
250 million users. That's a lot of users, though.
I know that's why they are willing to do that. I think like their best purchase was fucking Minecraft. But
Advertisement you can make off that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think really what's going on with them is that they kind of they want the person to be more liable to sell their shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they go after wounded fucking animals. You know, they looking like. Well,
Now I heard
so.
I heard one take about the this purchase, and they're saying that they're thinking that they might integrate it into Xbox Live, or they're calling it Xbox Network now. They're thinking that they might integrate it into that to bolster the numbers and make it look better for the shareholders.
I was thinking that too as well.
Yep.
And that's another reason why they want to go on to all platforms so it could hide any type of deficit. Jeremy, the floor is yours. What do you think about Discord being purchased by Microsoft, and do you think it's a good or bad thing for Discord?
I think it's going to cost money. And there's going to be a lot of advertisements. Like, it might not be a lot, but like $10, $15 a year or whatever.
Yeah, they could do something like that where they kind of monetize it on that level. It's just very...
Shit, you got to pay for the audio now. On the headphones? Fuck. Yeah. You got to pay for everything.
That's not their hip. I knew that you had to pay for that shit anyway. I kind of already knew. Like, I've been knew that shit because the TVs and shit like that have that. If you have an entertainment system, you have to pay for it there. I was wondering how I was going to enter.
I don't have to pay for it on Samsung.
Well, it's probably because
they probably pay for the license. I mean, the company doesn't have to. They making you pay for it. They don't. If they bought the license, probably would cost a bunch of money, which they don't want to do. Xbox doesn't want to pay for that license for the users. So
I heard but I heard personally that they could have charged. They charged on other platforms other than gaming shit. There's a lot of downsides to it as well. First of all, Sony doesn't even want to pay for licenses for stuff that they worked with before. You know what I'm saying? Like CDs and DVDs and Blu-rays. That's a joint. That's a joint effort, and that's why the PlayStation 4 and 5 don't play CDs, or it doesn't play the actual DVDs because they didn't want to pay the royalties to other people. So they're not even trying to.
Also, the laser. The laser's a different type of laser.
I think, even if I haven't looked into it. I think the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 can read CDs. It's just they don't want it to. They have that laser in there. Because I think that's the primary way of like reading and collecting information. I have to look into it, but from what I understand, there are licenses along with it, and they don't want to pay nobody shit. So they already made their Tempest engine, and they're done with that. But I guess we kind of exhausted that. I mean, personally, just to wrap it up, when it comes to Microsoft and Discord, I mean, it's all of our points are valid. I don't think it's going to be good for Discord. If it gets sucked in, like I think Discord is going to lose its name and become something else. And then you're going to have, even if Discord changes to Xbox Network, right? Now
Microsoft Chat or something.
But now the name Xbox is going to be put out more into the forefront for advertisement, just the name itself, because people are going to want to use Discord, and now the name of Discord is Xbox Network or some shit like that. Who knows? Some underhanded company shit. You already know how they fucking operate. But I mean, I don't think it's good for any. I don't think it's good for Discord because Microsoft does not have a good track record of supporting their shit, like at all.
Who would you prefer to buy them? If it's not Microsoft, who would you prefer?
Anybody else.
Be worse.
I think Amazon has a case with Twitch. They can
Uh,
integrate Twitch with it.
At least it would make sense. And I mean, I would. I mean, if Amazon purchased them, you know what I'm saying. First of all, you don't want a company that large to. The old saying is you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket for this reason, right here. I wouldn't give them shit. Like they already have enough money, but they're gobbling up a whole bunch of shit. You don't want any kind of big company. It may not be a monopoly, but it is definitely something that you don't want to have. They're all over the place. Even Apple kind of stays in its own lane. Google is another person that I don't want them to touch shit at all. They already
I
have
wouldn't.
mad
I wouldn't.
information.
I wouldn't want Google to fucking touch anything
No.
ever.
See Google. See
Everything that
Google got
Google
me.
touches
Google got me
goes to
by the.
shit, and they
Facebook.
close it down later.
Google got me by the
Face-
balls or Facebook, but Google got me by the balls anyway. They have my whole fucking porn history, all of it, and I don't want that to go out. So
That's a lot of
All that
info.
midget,
a lot of
all that
info.
midget porn and tentacle hentai.
Shit. I mean,
2 girls, 1 cup.
it's probably
That shit
it's
funny.
no.
probably closer
He
to
almost
that.
said that whole shit.
Shit on my neck. Like damn, shit look like peanut butter. Jerk me off with your diarrhea shit. I don't know. Anyway, so we're gonna move on to. Ooh, it's crunchy. That shit ain't smooth at all.
I finally got
The
my
Man,
2 girls,
blood
1
wing.
cup, the original reaction video. I swear.
I thought they were lying.
I was overseas when that porno dropped, dude, and I walked in and some dude. I'm like, "What the fuck are you all watching? What the fuck? You all fucked
Back
up."
in the day, yo, if you in your mid to late 30s, man, our generation is fucked up too, yo. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the next subject is the Switch Pro. Supposedly it's gonna be like $350. It's gonna be able to run DSLL. Uh, it's gonna be.
DLSS.
I say again.
DLSS.
DLSS, whatever. I don't know. Fuck. Give a fuck. Because it's made by Nvidia. So they're gonna have these particular things. I mean, I still gotta look deeper into what DLSS is. Because I think it has a
Learning
database.
super sampling.
Well, I know what it is, but I think it uses a database. I'm thinking to myself, does it pull from a server to learn, and its effects are better because of this, or like I'm trying to figure out how that works. Regardless, let's say give them the benefit of the doubt. Give them the benefit of the doubt, and say that they have that. Okay, cool, great. My thing is this: the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro didn't really do that well. Even the PlayStation 4 Pro didn't do that well. I feel like the Switch Pro needs to be a whole like successor. I believe at this point in time, it is 80 million right now. The original Switch. I mean, it's cool that it can play the old games, but don't you think that the Switch isn't slowing down in sales? So I don't know. That's probably why they're not saying anything. And by the way, while I'm on this topic, you know how everybody keep talking about Sony's too quiet right now. How come Sony ain't saying shit? Please open your mouth, Sony. They haven't said anything either, Nintendo. But I'm like, here's another thing that Nintendo can get away with. But going back on topic, I feel like they need to just make another. I mean, wait basically when the sales start to drop because it hasn't dropped yet. That's probably why we haven't heard of anything. My question to you guys, I'll start with Huss. Do you think it's a good idea to release like some sort of mid-gen refresh of the Switch?
Yes, I think it's a good idea. Historically, Nintendo has done it with Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance SP, and all these other mid-generation refreshes. It just re-engages the user. So when you buy, you tend to play more, spend more money. It's good. And Nintendo hardware has been historically shit, so I want a better Nintendo Switch.
Well, I mean, it's fine to want one, but do we know if the Game Boy Color and the original Game Boy and all other stuff Do we know if their sales were dropping and the successor to those, or not the successor, the refresh was a way to spark interest again, or what do we know about it?
For Game Boy Color, yeah.
I think it's a bad idea.
Um,
You already know. I think it's a bad idea. I don't think they should release shit until the sales start to drop. But the problem is that the fucking software is woefully underdeveloped. So
for Nintendo's case, it's more about the technology because they were using a really old NVIDIA Tegra chip, and NVIDIA wants to move on to new chips because the Tegra they're using already is fairly old. So it's more about the
but
technology that's
Nintendo's making
available at
money
the
though.
time.
Nintendo's making money right now though.
Yeah, but the fabrication and the manufacturing of these chips have a different timeline. I think for PS4 Pro as well, AMD gave them the option of making a more better CPU on a lower nanometer. So it's just the progression of technology,
Well,
and
we
it
see.
works out for them.
Well, we see that you're a fanboy. Moving on to the next person. I'm playing. I'm playing. we all know that you want
Me, a Nintendo fanboy.
you
I'm
want
not a
better
Nintendo.
graphics. Killate, you think it's a good idea?
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't. Good idea. Not at this point. Right now, if they do bring it out, they might as well just call it Switch 2.
Right. That's what I think they should just move on to Switch 2. I'm not
Yeah,
objecting to having a Switch. I'm objecting to the the pricing of the Switch. You know what I'm saying? Like you know,
yeah,
not pricing. I'm sorry. The
That is correct.
like I don't care if you make another one, but right now this one is selling so damn well, and I guess it's throwing them the fuck off.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't.
probably don't want to say
I
anything
don't.
to slow down the sales. So they mentioned, and I think
Yeah,
that's
they
what I
just.
think
Yeah,
it hurt uh, Sony when they released the fucking PlayStation Pro. That's when the sales started to slow down a little bit because people wanted to see what was going on and how this was going to work. Because it wasn't like a regular thing. You know what I'm saying? It was
yeah.
going to make your shit look better in two versions. But go on, I'm sorry. How you
And
gonna
then and then you gotta factor in when they did that with the 3DS. When they did it with the DS and the 3DS, where the DS was, they just stopped making games for to play fucking games. They were only making games for the 3DS. So are they gonna? You have to figure out if they're gonna do that again. That means any new game that come out for this Switch Pro, if it does come out, are they gonna stop making it for the regular? And you have to get the Switch Pro in order to play these games.
Right.
Right. And that's what well, I mean. That's the
Because they say, yeah, because they said the Switch wasn't a replacement for the 3DS, and we see what happened with that.
well. Everybody knew that was end of life, though. We all knew that shit was
I
end of life.
know, but it came out of their mouth saying that, oh, we're this is not a successor. We getting exciting game 3DS, and we got nothing after it came out.
Since
It
when?
all got
Since when?
ported over. It all got ported over Switch.
Since when do you believe corporations, man? Come on, nigga.
I'm just saying, just saying.
You know them niggas be lying
I don't think
like a motherfucker.
right now. I don't think it's a good idea for them to bring that Switch out though.
Yeah, I mean that's why people were like, "Well, bring it out, please. I want it. I want it." And
Yeah,
Nintendo's like, "Nah, you good."
yeah. And they just spent what? They just spent all that money with the Switch Lite.
Right.
I don't even know how well is that selling, and all that's
I
going to
don't
be
think
included in the
see that's the
same
thing.
sales.
That's the thing. You totally took away the novelty of the
The
Switch.
Joy, yeah,
Whether you
yeah, the
used it,
Joy-Con.
I'm not even just a Joy-Con. Whether you used it or not, right? Whether you used it or not, you took away the entire like essence. You know what I'm saying of it by making it just a handheld. Because
Yep.
handhelds, as you guys know, has been diminishing anyway. You know, I was thinking about this too before we move on to Your Majesty Black, uh, is
Majestic.
he's like, nigga, get that shit right. Majestic Black. One thing I was thinking too, you know how everybody went crazy for Animal Crossing? If they would have put that shit on the PC, not PC, sorry, the cell phones, there ain't nobody would have bought no Switch. A lot of women bought that. A lot of them did. And personally, I think it set women back anyway. You know,
You
Animal
said it
Crossing,
set women back.
it set women back a little bit. Personally, I look at it right, and I
Yeah.
see it was making women go back into the kitchen and cook and shit and vacuum. I thought y'all didn't want to do that. The fuck?
Yeah.
Why y'all
They
doing
wanted
that?
to have babies and stuff again.
I'm like, why y'all wanted to do that in the video game? What the fuck is this all about? You know? Oh my god, I get the vacuum with a cute little bear. So good. Anyway. Am I saying this shit right? Majestic, please say I'm doing it right. Majestic, I don't know why I can't call you. Lawrence, shit. Fuck it. Lawrence.
Yeah.
Fuck my own self up. You think it's a good idea for them to have released, or to release the Switch Pro?
It's kind of hard to say. Like, all right, they got the analytics, right? They got the numbers, and they probably know that this system is only gonna sell to like enthusiasts or like hardcore fanboys. If they put it out with minimum marketing, like man, they probably don't even have to market it for the hardcore fanboys and such, and they know that they're only gonna invest a certain amount of money into said product. If they see a profit at the end of the day, if that's what the analytics are showing them, then yeah, by all means, if they feel like it's gonna make the money. But
Hmm.
I myself, what I want from them is an actual competitive console to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series. We ain't gonna get that because they're already making buku. They're making mad money just porting over old games and such. They know what they're doing. So until the fans want that from them, then they're gonna continue doing what they're doing. They're gonna stay behind. It's gonna be cheaper for them to use older hardware and old chipsets and everything else and put it in and package it and make it look like it's new. You
Yo,
know.
Kill
So,
Tay, real quick.
Yeah.
Are you into R&B?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who's that fucking. I think it's Vanessa Williams. That one song. I've been dreaming,
Yeah. That. Yeah.
dreaming.
Yeah.
That sounds like
Dream.
Lawrence wanting to want a good
Dreaming.
sweet. I've been
what y'all know about Vanessa Williams,
dreaming.
man? I know about that. Y'all too young for that.
Oh, this nigga. I found that bitch on a piece of paper, yo. I was like,
What you know about that, boy? You know about that, boy?
I'm taking an early shower. That was my first love. Vanessa Williams, man.
Yeah, my old boy put me on the Vanessa Williams, bro.
How long ago was this?
Now I'm talking about when I was a kid, man. It's got to be in the '90s, bro. Like Lincoln Town Cars and shit. You know what I'm saying? You talk about,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
No stinking Lincoln, son.
You know what I mean?
Yo, don't y'all know that we are real close in age to be getting
Yeah.
our prostate checked?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure though.
Fuck that shit. I'm just gonna have to go down with the shit. You ain't stuffing no shit up
Yeah.
my ass.
My prostate just gonna have to be enlarged.
Yeah,
For no
that's what it
reason.
is.
I'll be eating them tomatoes like apples and shit.
I'm increasing my water intake, bro. I ain't getting nobody check my prostate.
Delicious.
This is delicious. You got salt? Shit, it's acidic
Wait,
like
this
a
is a-
motherfucker.
this
I
is a
remember I
fruit.
worked at Burger King, yo, trying to cut these fucking tomatoes. That shit was splitting up my fucking hands. I said, what the fuck is this? I had no
Look at
idea
that motherfucker.
tomatoes were that acidic. Yeah, but
Like, they asking for salt. Hey, this is a fruit, right? Who got some sugar?
that's why I would. I'm telling you right now, absolutely fucking not. I do not want a prostate exam. Call me homophobic or whatever the fuck you call me. I cannot in touch with your feminine side. Like, bitch,
Bruh,
I'm not a fucking. Oh, chick.
I'm sorry, bro. I saw an article literally like last week where some dude like shot the doctor
From
for
Florida.
making him
From
come.
Florida. Yep.
Yeah, that was real.
Mhm.
Like I didn't click on the article, but I saw it. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Florida crazy,
There
son.
was another Florida man, right?
Mm,
Florida man.
He
Yep.
was mad, yo,
They
buddy. Why
making us
did you
look
come
bad, bro.
back? That nigga was thinking about that shit, yo. Turn your head and cough. Oh shit! Fuck!
Nigga, are you moaning?
Mm.
Uh,
The motherfucker was mad.
Pop, pop, pop.
He got a nerve, you know, because I'm pretty sure he went home.
he was like, I can't go back to the hood like this. I gotta shoot this
The
motherfucker.
motherfucker went home. The doctor must have consoled. The doctor must have consoled him and shit like this. It happens all the time, sir. It's relax, relax. You know, it's scientifically proven.
Was it good for
Oh
you as
my
it was
god.
for me?
It's scientifically proven. You had no control over it.
Hey,
I went in a
and the
little
doc
bit.
probably was talking shit. That's probably what happened. He was talking
I
mad
went
shit.
in a little bit too deep. I
I'll be right
apologize
back.
for that. That's the only reason why it happened that way. No motherfucker was thinking about that shit. Like, fuck that doctor with my fucking gun. Excuse me, doctor. Hi, you can help you. Bam, fucker, you made me bust. So anyway, Jeremy, what do you have to say about the Nintendo Pro or Nintendo Switch Pro? Good idea.
I don't know. It's kind of like if they might be like looking to stop supporting it because with development going forward, when they stop making shit for PS4 and stuff, are they gonna want to go back and port third-party shit to that goddamn thing?
Because people would complain.
Will they be able to?
That's another thing. Well, yeah, but the Switch games, yeah, because they don't have any kind of advanced features like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those games could be on PC. But
I know, but a lot of games can't go back to that. I mean, Witcher 3 they got to work, but it's not easy for a lot of those games to go to that.
The Switch is in between generations.
That's what I mean.
Well, the way that I look at it is like they can do it. They're still using the old engines. Most games are using the old engines and shit like that. And one of the things I noticed still, like the load times are really long for the Switch games and shit like that. But I mean, honestly, you raise a good point. Developers don't even want to fuck with the Series S. You know what I mean? That's the problem. That's a fucking problem. You know, imagine making a.
Yeah, so you think they want to fuck with the Switch in a few years? I don't think so.
They're gonna have to. They kind of low key have to. You know what I'm saying? It has a 80 million user base, but at some point it's like, what does actually sell? Because I think that most games that are third party don't really sell that well. I think 2-3 million, and that's the best case scenario. You know,
there's not a lot of good ones that are on.
Because even Call of Duty can't go on no fucking Switch. You know, and that's not gonna happen. And I don't forget which developer it was. Oh, it was Apex. They're gonna put that game on the fucking Switch and shit like that. It runs at 30 frames a second at max. That shit is always buoyant around 20 frames a second. So
dog shit, man.
I mean, and then it's crossplay. It's cross-gen or crossplay. And it's funny, all those people that sat there and was so pissed off about Sony not like really being about that life. No one's even using crossplay.
Yep.
All that fucking outrage, which kind of leads me to another subject.
It was Xbox and Nintendo fans. They were the ones complaining.
Right. So
Why would you, if you're a closed system, why would you give access to your user base? Defeats the whole purpose of having a closed system. Closed ecosystem, I mean, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, again, you make more money. And it's always more than just the Sony or the publisher or the fucking console maker. It's a lot of things. That's why we always see Call of Duty like really doing it. Like, are they doing it now or no?
What they doing?
Cross.
Yeah, they have crossplay, yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, they do have it.
Okay.
Yeah, Call of Duty does have it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on.
Well, Modern Warfare does.
I don't know. Well, one game that's really popular didn't. So I was like, what the fuck? But that's the thing too. So I know this is not a part of the subject, but we might as well talk about it. This weekend we kind of making good pace here. What about
before we move topics, I got a question. Do you think we'll see a PS5 Pro?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
I don't think it will be delivered the way that it was for the PS4. I think they're gonna actually go the Switch route and not say shit until the sales start to slow down. And what the PlayStation 5 Pro offer, probably a bit much smaller box. You know, much smaller box, quieter.
Then the all digital one.
Yeah, for the PS5 Pro, yeah.
The selling point's
Yeah.
going to be 120 hertz and better ray tracing.
Better like
And what's that? The
ray tracing with all fucking effects on at all times,
yeah,
and then it's gonna have that a better form of upscaling resolution effects. That's what I believe.
yeah, the AMD version of the LSS.
Right, right. Well, just much better in general for me. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, I believe it. I don't know about Microsoft. Microsoft seems to be going in some other wild ass direction, which I'm like, whatever.
I'm
Um,
going third party.
well, I mean, let's see what they do with fucking Game Pass. Like all these people champion for. How about that fucking nigga ass coon bitch?
You talking about
Paris.
Smooth?
Paris.
Oh, I don't watch his shit.
You don't have to watch it. I'm sure you've seen that shit retweeted. This motherfucker was like, well, this is the reason why. And what's these buzzwords? You ever notice that shit? There's always some kind of buzzword that the media uses um, to garner hype. You know what I'm saying? Gamergate and what's the other one? Fucking crossplay and all this other shit. Like I think the news. What is it called? Preservation. Library preservation or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. For with Game Pass.
The whole Game Pass, Xbox backwards compatibility, whole bullshit that was going on Twitter.
Yeah, they was like, "Oh, we're gonna lose our games. I can't believe we're gonna lose our games." And it's not even the fact that when is the last time you played it, because that's a whole other argument. When you buy digital shit, that is the rules of engagement. Period. Period. It has never changed.
I think you'll be able to keep them though.
You are always able to keep them. You put them on a fucking external drive and keep it the fuck moving.
No, I mean, they're closing the store, but I think they'll have a way that you can go back through your account and download shit. You just won't be able to purchase new things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you already purchased it, you should be able. I think that you'll still be able to re-download them if you already purchased. You just can't buy new shit.
I mean, here's the thing. Even if you weren't able to go back and purchase the shit, right? And by the way, this is another side topic. I finally fixed Streamlabs because that shit was dropping frames and cutting out. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? I don't know what's going on with that one, but that shit, because I should have no problems. So I'm actually pretty pleased that shit worked. And it almost made me not want to fuck with it. But it's because it works intrinsically different. But anyway, going back to this bullshit, it's like you look at this shit and it's like, what are people doing, man? Like, if you're that concerned, go ahead and buy yourself an external hard drive, 2 terabytes, and load all that shit up on that bitch, and be done with it. CDs.
I don't think PS3 had you couldn't use an external.
Well, you can take your games and save it. I think it has even more flexibility than anything. Even if it didn't work, you still are able to offload your games on a fucking thumb drive. Even if them shits are like $7 for like 128 gigs.
I think I paid 20 for 256 for my kids' Switches.
That's the thing, and I'm thinking to myself, it's like if you really are that concerned, and then people are even concerned about the PS5 and the fact that it has a built-in SSD. Or you do realize in 70 years you won't be able to use it, and I'm just worried about my title preservation. Come on, bitch. Like some of the shit that I read online, like that may be a concern. Like the fucking what's his name, Spawn Wave. Like shut your dumb ass, monkey ass looking ass up. Shut up. black though. I think he's albino, probably.
He might be. He might be.
That dude look black. Funny thing is,
Fake concern, man.
what you say?
It's fake concern. They don't really care about playing PS3
No,
games.
they latch on to the
They
negative.
latch on anything negative.
Yep, so they can get somebody to like their shit. They find anything
Yeah,
negative.
they can get some brownie points on Twitter. Oh, look how good Microsoft is, and look how bad PlayStation is. Because that's their branding.
That's how
That's their whatever online personality.
they get people to
They're
like
gonna
their
flip
shit.
flop. Yep,
Flippity flop, bitch.
especially that Paris guy.
Yeah,
It's
that's
promote Xbox and downplay PlayStation.
he's a big one. He's a big one. He's ridiculous. We are going to now. We're halfway through the topics here. I mean, I can't really judge off of how long it's going to be. In terms of it, it may be short, may be long, depending on what we have to say. But the next topic is this. I was kind of curious as to what people thought of this, and this has been bothering me a lot, right? A lot. It's very concerning to me. There are individuals that can't tell the difference between a good game or good graphics. If a game has really good graphics, 9 times out of 10, the user thinks that that is indicative of quality, and they will say it's a great game. That is
Or the
very
resolution count.
well, no, not necessarily resolution count, because that's something different. Because sometimes if you don't have Digital Foundry or somebody telling you what resolution it is, the type of upscaling techniques that they have would basically kind of like change up your perception of the game or the perception of the resolution. But you mentioned this in the chat, Jeremy. You basically stated you was like, well, you can just buy a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation exclusive and get the best of both
Me?
worlds. Yeah, Jeremy, you said this.
I barely use my Xbox.
Not
Oh.
Xbox. I didn't mean to say Xbox.
Oh, you're talking about like a lot of Xbox guys do that?
No, you were saying that if you get the best of both worlds while getting the PlayStation exclusive in terms of.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Because the gameplay's dope, and the games, especially with the custom engines, they fucking look bomb as fuck too.
A lot of people think that.
Like Ghost, the particle effects and the world building and the fucking combat in that game just fucking makes my dick hard. I love it. Then I go and play Assassin's Creed. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
That's such a Caucasian thing to say, Jeremy.
Well, whatever.
But I share your sentiment. It does it for me too, and I'm not white. So the thing is, people say that PlayStation exclusives are not gameplay rich. They're just cutscenes, basically. And that's it. And I'm thinking
Another false narrative.
I'm thinking, what the fuck was I playing these last like 14 years? What was that?
You were
How the hell
playing
did
a
I put
movie.
I played a 100-hour movie.
A long ass movie.
Put 100 hours into a movie.
But do you guys feel what I'm saying though? Do you feel what I'm saying? Like people are really like getting the game fucked up by thinking that if you can have good graphics, you automatically think the game is good. Crisis, for instance, was a mediocre game, and the PC master race has been taughting this shit up like it's the next fucking.
That's because it was the benchmarker for PC.
I mean, we know why.
They didn't even really play the game. They just used that shit as a benchmarker check to see what their computer can do.
They was like, wow, this is good, and then close that shit.
Yeah. And then they went back to CS:GO and World of Warcraft.
or some kind of mobile game. One of the games that I definitely didn't like. Oh, I'm going to get so much hate for this, but I'm going to refrain from using those 4 words. And choose a different route.
You might as well
Uh,
go ahead and say it. Get it out of the way. You know they
nah,
watching.
nigga, I know. They in the corner talking some. I see your fucking history. Anyway, so Uncharted is how I felt about. I did not like that. I didn't like that. I didn't like that gameplay. I didn't like
You
that.
talking about four, right?
All
Or
of them.
just the whole series?
All of them. To me, gameplay wise, three was the height. You do a little bit more, but just the series in
Yeah, because
general
three
was
was supposed to be the last one though, before they decided.
for real.
That's what I thought. I thought three was supposed to be the very last one, and then they decided to make one more.
That was a Naughty Dog trend, though. Their Naughty Dog trend was to basically jump onto another IP. I think that's what kept that series fresh, or not series that developer fresh, and allow for them to grow into who they were. You know what I mean? You get experience dabbling into different genres. You get experience that way. It's hard as shit, but I think that's what they were trying to do. And then I think the PlayStation 4 was the only time that they stuck to a series and continued on with it.
Yeah.
You know, and when you stick to the same, that's why it's probably why not Naughty Dog, Guerrilla Games isn't really fucking with Killzone. They've been doing that shit for like 10 years. I think they're kind of over it, but I didn't like, I don't care how good the game looked. I didn't enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't. But what about you, Huss? What do you got to say about the narrative between graphics and gameplay and how people get that shit mixed up?
I don't know. They don't know what they're talking about.
But do you believe that people
I,
are like can get that shit fucked up just by seeing a good looking game and thinking that that's indicative of quality?
yeah, sometimes I guess. It's really about gameplay trumps everything, but
What's your favorite game?
uh,
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this for this topic. What's your favorite game?
my favorite game ever probably the original God of War and then MGS2.
How many times have you beaten either?
Uh, 2 or 3 times. I mean, MGS2 3 times, and then God of War probably four.
Okay. Oops.
But that's more nostalgic. It's not like I reckon they're the best games ever. It's just because when I experienced them, they blew my head away. It was like amazing.
See the gameplay for God of War. I don't like fixed cameras, but damn, that fucking game looked nice, and the gameplay was really, really fucking solid. I remember getting into arguments with people. What you talking about? This game is much better than Devil May Cry. You don't know what you talking about. I mean, they're different. I think that Devil May Cry has a little bit more time to kind of know
Yeah.
its
Devil May
gameplay.
Cry is the reason why God of War exists.
That doesn't matter. I mean,
But
Killzone.
I know they should know that if they didn't know.
What I'm saying, Killzone is. Uh,
Well, Devil May Cry exists probably because Onimusha existed too, though.
Nah. I think Devil May
But
Cry
Devil
was
May
the
Cry
first
was
one that
originally going to
yeah.
be Resident Evil.
Devil May Cry exists because of Resident Evil. Onimusha exists because of Devil May Cry. Because
Yeah. Onimusha was
Devil May
before
Cry
Devil May
one
Cry.
Devil May Cry one was a console.
So was Onimusha.
who is getting fucked up by a
I
cat?
could have I could have
Well,
I could
that's
have sworn Devil
crazy.
May Cry
Wake
came
up.
Dog.
before on.
Is that a cat?
It was the goddamn dog. Fucking goddamn
Sounded like a
animals.
cat.
You heard that
That
shit,
Yeah, it
right?
was a cat and a dog.
Attacking a dog.
Yeah, cat and dog fighting.
Lawrence
That
know
cat
all
sounds
about that
pretty
shit, yo. He was like, I got a couple of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, I hate them bastards.
You heard that? Okay, so what about you, Killer Tay? Yo, what you gotta say about this graphic narrative? Do you believe people really get like bewitched by graphics, and then over time, like,
No,
no,
no, I don't. No, I don't. I
huh?
think they're just using it as a an argument stand piece because usually most of the games on PlayStation are richly beautiful, and they just use it as a fucking argument.
Like for instance,
The game fucking, because the game like fucking like take fucking Death Stranding, beautiful game, but the game is trash.
you say something
Ain't
else.
nobody, huh?
You say something else about about Death Stranding, yo. I'm
You
going to.
know it's a fucking. Look, it's a beautiful game, story wise. Point. Gameplay not there. I'm sorry. You can't sit there and tell me that fucking you look at that game and was like, yeah, this is it. This is how
You
all
know
games
what?
from a
Because
gameplay standpoint.
you know,
This is it.
if you've ever seen me
And that
play,
gameplay was addictive, dude.
if you ever see me
Yeah,
play anything on my PlayStation, right?
yeah. I
Um,
don't see you I see you saying goddamn God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. I have never seen you play motherfucking Death Stranding. That's how I know that shit is trash.
I was waiting for the PS5
no,
port.
no, there's a
The
reason
extended
where
edition's
I
coming out.
personally, I was
That's a good
actually,
excuse
no, no,
for
no,
him.
no, no. I did start playing it again, but I got swept up with the PlayStation 5.
That
I
escape.
actually was playing Death Stranding, and if you look at Death Stranding, right, and I know we won't see eye to eye, and that's cool. That's how the world is supposed to
Yeah.
be. You don't have to cancel somebody because they have a different view. It's okay.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, yeah. I'm not
I'm just
canceling
saying that
anybody.
for the bitch ass nigga that was listening. That's all I'm saying. The bitch ass bitch or bitch ass nigga, whichever one it was, that be listening to this shit. If you ever want to scroll down my fucking timeline again,
That was his sock. That was his sock account.
motherfuckers sliding down fucking a month worth of shit just to find some shit about this raggedy ass fucking game. I still won't say the
To
four
help
words.
to help
So
that
either
argument.
way, um, what the fuck was I saying? I'm sorry, that shit fucked me up. Oh, Death Stranding.
You was trying to defend. Yeah.
Death Stranding. So one of the things that I do like about it is the adventure aspect of the game. What I don't like about it, which fucks up the adventure aspect on the low, is fucking the storms. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, the combat wasn't that good.
No, I mean the combat needed to they needed to simplify the combat for sure. They needed to simplify the combat for sure, and make when I say simplify, it's not that it was difficult. It's just that it was unnecessary. There's too many button presses and too many systems in place. A lot of that shit could have
There
been
was
like
a lot of
cleaned up.
button presses.
Yeah, for the combat, yeah. Now, I'm not saying a lot that I couldn't comprehend it, but you have to hold this button down, then swing this button, and move this analog stick just to throw an item. When most games, you just look at it and throw it and press a button. Like
Yep.
that's what I mean. That to me, I get what they were trying to do, but I mean, who knows with the adaptive triggers for this? If they make a sequel, maybe it'd be a little better where you could feel the heaviness of it. Who
I,
knows?
I
Shut
hope
your
they don't.
ass up.
I hope they do not make us.
I mean,
And I hope they do.
One is enough. It's just my thing is it's a whole lot of beautiful open world and a whole lot of nothing to do it.
Did you finish it, Tay?
Huh?
Did you finish Death Stranding?
No, just that boring. I was following
Yeah.
this every time I try to boot it up. To me, it was boring. But every time I boot it up, I'd be sitting looking at the main screen and don't start it
well, that's because you
because
did
I
not.
don't want to
That's
go through
because
that
you
world.
did not know. You didn't know what the game. You didn't know how to take the game. This is how.
What?
Yeah.
Do you like simulation games? Do you like kind of like a little bit of simulation in your games? Do you like
Some of
Gran
them. Some of
Turismo?
them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I played
'Cause
Gran Turismo. I played
I've
Forza.
see Hus.
I
I've
like
said this. I've
like
said this
with
before.
racers, like with racers. I'll enjoy like the Gran Turismo, but I really prefer like the Need for and
I think
the Forza Horizon. I like those series better.
I've said the same
The
argument
action.
before, Hus. I said the same thing because that's how the walking mechanics are. It's supposed to feel desolate to make the highlight what you're doing, which is the traveling. Which shit will they should have. You know what it was? They pussied out. They should have made the traveling a lot harder, but they pussied out on it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't,
yep.
they didn't want nobody to really. But they should have made traveling hard. Like the shoes should have degraded way quicker. You know what I'm saying? They should have had random
Yep.
storms where you had to literally find shelter instead of that one area that's always storming. Shit like that. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
at the beginning,
Right. Well,
at the
it's always
beginning,
an area where it's storming and shit like that. Just the overall like if you fuck up pacing in the game, that's it for your ass. The snow area is where that game took a swine dive. I was like, why would you make something like this? You know what I'm saying? Weather elements that could have did it. Wind could have also affected you. You know what I'm saying? Like it should have been mostly you and the elements. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
my
And
my thing
then
is
and then incorporate the fucking what do you call it? The fucking BTS.
my thing is you have that can withstand the rain,
I can't
but
stand
you're
the
not.
rain
Look, but you have
against my
your
butthole.
packages,
All right, go on.
but you got the packages that they refuse to use that same material on.
That's a pacing issue.
No, no, no. You're not listening to what I'm saying. They
Like
have
some of the
suits.
clothes don't degrade. Yeah,
They have
they
Hold on.
well,
they have
Let me
they
hear
have
what Tay said.
suits.
Uh
They
huh.
have suits that'll protect you from the rain, which means as long as you got the suit on, you don't degrade in age, right? But they won't wrap the package in that same material, so they don't degrade.
a bit too much logic in the video game.
Well, that's what I mean.
Was
That's what I mean. Like the
if you
material
go,
is
if you go by that logic, right?
it's not the rapid aging. You know what I mean? Some things could have been like animals. You know what I'm saying? If they really wanted to take it there, it could have been like rescue these animals. You feel me?
Yeah.
And you can't have it wrapped up like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Well,
I
yeah.
get that it's
I
a
mean,
game.
yeah,
I get that it's a game like Kratos taking forever to climb shit. When you know
yeah.
you just flip the fucking temple. You know what I'm saying? What are you? Why
And
is
why
it?
doesn't Kratos just jump?
Huh?
Why doesn't he just jump?
That's what I'm saying. Or it takes you so long to open up a crate. There's some video game dissidents that you get used to. But I get it. I don't even think that's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is how they presented the gameplay from you and Death Stranding. Walking from place to place should have been difficult. Fucked up.
People found it difficult as it is, man.
Well, it's because that's why they made the game what it is. That's why there's so
But
many
the
like
game ain't difficult
discrepancies.
though.
That's what I said it should have been, and it really isn't difficult. It really isn't difficult. If you look at it, it's not difficult. I don't even know what's going on with that, but it isn't difficult. It isn't. So the way that I look at it is that they should have made it difficult, and it should have been you and the elements. Like fuck, shit. It's raining. I gotta find a cave ASAP. Look at your map. Like the map was really retarded too. But look at your map,
Yeah.
and you be like, oh shit, there's a cave right over there, and you have to wait that shit out. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the times where the BTs kind of creep up and stuff like that. You gotta hold your breath and stuff. The boss battles could have been well, you know. So
Boss, yeah, you didn't even have to fight the bosses. To
nah,
run away from it and
you
you
run away
complete that
from it.
mission.
That shit. You know what I'm saying? They saying
There's certain bosses you have to fight.
and then well, they said that there's no real game over, which there is. There is a couple game overs in there. It's just you what you call it, repatriate or whatever the fuck you call it shit. It's just the concepts were kind of stupid to me when it came to Death Stranding. But as a game, it's an enjoyable experience, especially with the soundtrack and you moving from point A to B, and for the little bit of difficulty they had in the game, it made you like, okay, it's relaxing to a degree, and just seeing the different sceneries. And there's games like that out there, where you're just kind of traveling, you know.
Man, that guy made the Kojima. He made walking engaging. I appreciate that. He made
He should
plotting
have.
your route and everything, logistics, putting down zip lines.
He should have did
I
better. He
appreciate the game because it was different. Yeah, it was very different. That's why I appreciate it, man.
should have done better.
And the soundtrack was amazing.
Yeah.
And I
The
enjoyed the
soundtrack
story. I
was
like the
amazing.
I enjoyed the world building.
Lawrence,
He's very good at world building.
Lawrence, what do you have to say about graphics versus gameplay?
I think both are important, especially when you go into a new generation. But obviously, most gamers, like real gamers, would prefer the gameplay over the graphics, of course. So, but I think both are important. They have their place.
Like you see,
Definitely graphics over. I mean, definitely gameplay over graphics all day though.
it's supposed to be like that, but I feel like Killer Tay was he made an interesting point. There are a lot of people that will lie and claim that a game is much better than what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hmm.
For instance, a lot of people didn't like the gameplay of Drive Club. That's the video that's being displayed. They didn't like it,
Hmm.
but it looked damn fucking good. And a lot of people
Yeah.
claim, and same thing with Gravity Rush, and the same thing with a lot of the different games. The
Well,
Japanese
Gravity
games.
Rush had great gameplay. It just didn't look as good
No,
as
that
it
shit
could
looks
have.
good.
Gravity Rush looked good. Had a different aesthetic.
Yeah, it
It was
wasn't
Yeah.
good.
that. It's just the
I
gameplay.
I
thought it
mean,
was
it
okay
wasn't.
looking
The
It
game.
was.
gameplay suffered
Yeah.
though. Like if one person knows,
Yeah,
if one person knows about
Gravity
Gravity
Rush
Rush, it's
too.
definitely me. Because at one point, see, people don't know this, but I played Drive Club as much as I played Horizon. I usually stick to a game for a long time and then I move on to the sequel. But when it comes to Gravity Rush, the gameplay there was no challenging element to Gravity Rush. There was like none. That was the biggest problem. There was no challenging element to it. You just
It was
fucking
a PS.
even no. I'm talking about Gravity Rush too.
Oh, Gravity
Yeah,
Rush too.
Gravity Rush
There
too.
was no there were no like risks. You can fall from infinite and just get up, or the cat will rescue you from dying. So you didn't have any type of risk of colliding into something. The fighting the Nevi was very easy. It's very easy to kill them. You know what I'm saying? There
I
was
got you.
barely any boss battles. Um, and then the story was all over the place. But I still beat that game like 8 times though. And I was going to beat it for the ninth time until they said that they closed down the studio. But and I just it's too much for me right now emotionally. I'm hurt. But that's the reason why all these people sit there and simp for this fucking game. Oh my god, Cat is so good. Why Cat? Sony is horrible.
Fucking played that game, man. I hate the people online. They fucking capped for it, but they didn't buy it. They didn't play it. I got the platinum in both from 1 and 2, and they capped for it like fucking. It's the greatest thing ever. Yeah, but you didn't support it. You didn't make it
You
into
didn't
a five
support it.
million
They
seller.
did, and that was my argument too. Like you play a game over it. Like if you like a game, typically you can play it over and over again. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know that gameplay is lacking if you can't really play it over and over and over again. See, if you have understanding and you're a veteran to gaming, you can make any game work. Like the Getaway, for instance. Getaway 1 and 2 had a lot. The gameplay was fucking was not missing. What's the word I'm looking for? Incomplete. Still loved it. Still fucking loved it. I saw what they were doing with it. I saw the potential, and I kept it moving with that. You know, Jeremy.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you
With
think?
graphics and gameplay?
Why do you think people get bewitched if you even think this by graphics?
Well, one thing I've noticed is that it's usually guys that play on Xbox or they just play the exclusives or whatever, but they're more into they just want to get on and just fucking shoot at shit and not have to think about they're not really into story progression, you know. I am like Doom, for example. I can sit down and play for an hour or something, but I ain't playing that shit all night because it's not gonna keep me interested. Just fucking shooting something in the head,
I
you
mean,
know.
but
I gotta have something.
that don't mean that it's bad. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I can't get into a game like play it constantly. You know what I mean? Like I can't put it down if it's just just
One
like I
type of
played.
note, one note.
Yeah, one note all day, just fucking shoot, 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 shoot. I can do that for like an hour here, hour there. You know what I mean? Like Witcher 3, like the side quests and shit like that. Fucking, that's why I try to avoid that game because I don't sleep for months.
I can't think of a game.
Oh, one more side quest. One more side quest. Like, fuck, I gotta go to work in 2 hours. What the fuck?
So good.
Who's the hag that's singing in the fucking Witcher 3? Every time you fucking beat the mission. Who is that bitch?
I don't know. Those are 3 witches in the woods or whatever, but that fucking game got me in trouble, dude. I'd be like, I'm just gonna do one little side mission, then I'll go to bed. Fucking, and I look, it's like that side mission was 5.5 fucking hours. I got to be at work in 2 hours. The fuck?
That's
Every day, yeah. Every day I do that. I was dying for months.
Geralt be like this.
Shit,
like,
I'm still at the first main mission.
Geralt be like, well, on to the next mission. So I'm like, I can't stand this cultic shit, yo. Whatever the fuck this shit is.
Nah, that game would get me in trouble,
bitch.
though,
What
dude.
You
like Ghost, though, like I put like 100 hours into that. That shit was in like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like I can't put the motherfucker down.
You know what's funny about Ghost? Awesome gameplay, a little bit thin in gameplay. Graphics are good. The actual gameplay is dumb strong. But I always get tired playing that game. Always.
Yeah, it's the fucking effects they put into the game. Other games don't have that shit.
Like I told you about this before, Jeremy. Did you ever notice? Like if you're working and you're working on a cloudy day and you just get tired of shit. Like you're just tired. Like damn.
I got kids. I'm always tired.
I feel drowsy. Every time you murder somebody, the shit gets fucking cloudy, and it automatically translates to the real world to me. Like I feel sleepy playing that game if it's not sunny. I'm like, that is a side effect to having good ass graphics. Because I will play Horizon and there's so much color, vividness, or any other game that has vividness, and you stay like watching that shit. You don't really get tired, but even God of War has like a strong contrast with certain things.
Ghost had the one best audio, and let me tell you, it deserved it because like I had that shit cranking one night, and on the subwoofer and shit with the lightning, I started looking out my fucking window because I thought it was storming, and then it took me a few minutes to realize it was the motherfucking game. I was like, no shit. It's so realistic. Like I was like, I don't even fucking see no fucking clouds.
Yeah, Ghost is so much.
Yeah, the fucking audio on that, like if you got a subwoofer and shit like that, that shit is fucking crazy. The effects and the audio in that fucking game.
These headsets right here, which there's some times with the 3D audio really fucked me up, man. You know,
I got the Pulse too. I'm using them right now.
I'll get the Pulse. I just used the PlayStation. Man, I heard something rummaging in the fucking background. I got up quick. You know, I'm black. I said, "Who the fuck's in my house?" No, it was just the headsets.
When did I get bushes inside the house?
So I heard I was playing something, and I heard like something in my house. I was like, "Oh hell no!" Before we move on to the last topic, I wanted to talk about something really quickly, and I want to give you guys. I just wanted to ask you guys a question. Have you guys? I know this is random. It's random as shit. But have you guys seen the Lil Nas video?
No.
No?
Nah.
I don't keep up with music, so.
What about you, Lawrence? Yo,
Okay.
Lawrence, you there?
Oh my bad, I'm on mute. I didn't catch the I didn't see anything new from him. Nah.
Oh boy. I guess we can move on. I don't think Jeremy's seen it because he don't have a Twitter. You guys should watch that when you get a chance.
Nah, I think I should.
Lord.
Why would you say that? Why?
Because your tone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's one of those, yeah, you should watch that, idiot.
Watch that.
Gotcha, bitch.
What could possibly be the problem for me telling you guys to watch his new music video?
I don't
Check it
know.
out.
The way you saying it make me worried.
It's catchy.
Like it, like it's gonna be a new Two Girls One Cup or something.
Yeah.
I would say just for independent research, you probably should check it out. It's funny because it's kind of
Sounds like a cheese trap.
um no, it's not a cheese trap. So I'll tell you what it is, but it's funny. It's very interesting. It's very biblical, by the way.
Mm.
And I know a lot of people don't really believe in the Bible or religion or anything like that, but it's always curious when
Yeah.
you get like these music videos that always talk about like Christian shit. You know what I mean? It's always the same theme. So the theme is of this video is that Lil Nas is in a garden of Eden and he gets tempted by himself and not with an apple, but a scrotum.
Why?
Um,
Why?
not,
There was a
See, I
scrotum,
don't want to watch
scrotum on a
it.
tree.
say
What the
again.
fuck? There was a scrotum, like a ball sack on a tree, like he's about to pick it like an apple or some shit.
No, it's probably would have been a better option.
It was Harry.
No, no. So essentially,
Sounds like you
basically,
was just having an acid trip or something.
Oh
no,
Lord.
no. Please listen and please understand in the great words of Nintendo. So
I don't know.
so basically,
Oh, no.
the snake or serpent was half snake and half like Medusa, but half human. But instead of it being a female, it was a male, right? And the male serpent was tempting him, so he ended up kissing Lil Nas in the mouth, and then sucking on his belly button, which gets transported into judgment of him being, I guess, gay. So he poses himself.
Well, he already came out.
You already know, but he poses himself as two black women with the hair curlers and everything like that, I guess to symbolize traditional lifestyles. So they basically have him in chains and they judge him before he gets sent to heaven or hell. So they send him to heaven. So he's doing the whole Neo thing where he's like floating up like this, and he's going up to heaven, which he then gets judged for being gay. And a giant pole comes flying through the clouds from hell. So it wasn't a pole on closer inspection, it was a penis. Flies up to rescue Lil Nas, which he then jumps on and then does a stripper pole dance upside down, sliding all the way down to hell. He gets welcomed in with open arms, which then he meets up with Satan and he starts to grind on Satan and close curtains.
Yeah, he's doing that to shock you. That's the whole point, and the fact that you're talking about it is the whole point of it.
That's one way, if we're looking at it.
Yeah.
But
I really
here's a situation.
give a
right?
shit about what he does.
No, that's fine.
I don't rate him as hard.
It's fine because I don't think he's musically well. The thing is, and I have a problem with.
He's got one catchy song. That's it.
And here's the thing when it comes to, and this is not to me about religion. This is about. I don't want to say politics. What is it? Agendas. It doesn't matter that he's gay. Who cares, right? Because if he did that shit when it came to, if it was a heterosexual female that did that, I still wouldn't be interested. I'm not even interested, and this is going to sound shocking to you, but I'm not even fucking interested in that WAP video or Cardi B. But as I get older, I start to realize that I'm kind of glad I don't have any kids. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that there's an agenda, right? I know this is off topic, but the reason why I say that there's an agenda, right, is why does it have to be so sexualized? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're playing this shit prime time, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, where there's kids that could be listening to this shit. Or playing this in the middle of the afternoon, where you're like full on sex in front of, you know, It's getting broadcast all over the place, and these videos get like 4 million views instantly. Get so many likes and stuff like that. It's not necessarily about shock value, but it's funny how you can do that, right? And you get all these views, which is explicit, by the way, in nature. But if I open my mouth and say COVID, I can get demonetized.
Mhm.
You're not in the
Because they got
club.
backing from the music industry. That's why. They're corporate figures, and you're just an individual, so you don't get the advantage.
But that's not the point that I'm necessarily trying to make here. The point that I'm trying to make is
You gotta be in the club.
there's that piece that I want to actually mention because that's very big. There is a certain club there, but like this is why I have a problem with what's going on with politics and certain medias or agendas being pushed because it's extremely lopsided, which is going to segue into our last subject, and that is views, developer views that will eventually affect the bottom line. All of this, as we know, is money based, right? Where did Killer Tay go? What happened to him? Let me
He
message.
probably lost reception.
That's it. They got him. They fucking got his ass. Locked. I got him. Let me see. Where you at? Okay. Okay. So, um, my point to all of this, right, is sometimes views could affect the product, which then affects your bottom line. No matter how much you'll push something and make people and be on the right side of things, it doesn't necessarily mean that people like my political views. If I walk outside, right, and I don't want to put myself in there. I'm pretty sure if I walk and if I go to the Carolinas, right, in the most racist part of Carolina, like the media can sit there and say that that's the wrong thing to be racist, right? And they could be like, "Hello, man," just because everyone's saying not to, not to act that way, doesn't mean that they change their mind. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't affect them. As a matter of fact, it's probably dangerous because they'll go somewhere else where they could be free and by themselves, which I believe is happening to that four-letter title or four-word title that I will not speak of, but you guys know what title I'm referring to. I hope. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. So this game has yet to have its numbers, sales numbers announced. Its awards has been announced many times over, but not the sales numbers. It's one of the only large profile games, right, from Sony that hasn't had its sales numbers really released. As we know, in the first year, God of War did 10 million, Spider-Man did 10 million around there. We know Ghost of Tsushima as a new IP did 6.5 million. I think Horizon Zero Dawn with all this shit did 8 million last year. Shit like that, right? Um, so, do you think that if a developer's views gets infused into a title, and if it affects the bottom line, do you think that the next iteration would change the tune of the publisher? I wanted to ask Lawrence this specifically first.
Can you give me the question one more time?
So my question to you is, when a developer puts his views inside a game, gets all the backing from all the major publications, and it still affects the bottom line, how much they made, how much they sold, negatively, do you think their sequel or their next game will still have those same views?
If it affects it negatively, no. Like, why would any business? Well, then again, it's hard to say because Sony, I believe we're talking about the same game.
Mm-hmm.
Sony gives their developers a lot of freedom, I believe. But
Relatively.
if a company wants to make money, which we know every business is in the business of making money, then they control that eventually if they see that it's affecting the bottom line. So I would say that yeah, they would definitely tell them to fall back on some of those views if it's affecting
But I
the
thought
way
it
they
was
make bread.
so virtuous, though. I thought it was so important that everybody needs inclusion and race and all this other good stuff, and how
Hmm.
terrible you are for wanting an attractive main character and not objectifying the main character, be it a female or a male. Weren't those views so important to you that you decided
Can I
to?
ask you a question?
Yeah,
So do you think that it underperformed based off them not sharing the numbers?
yes, I do.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted I wanted that to be recorded, so we could come back to this
Now,
later on.
I've been saying this for a while. I've been saying this for a while
Right,
because Killer Tay also has the same sentiment.
right.
Yep. Talking about the forward game, right?
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Forwarded.
Did you peep right that the big games that were announced, Horizon Zero Dawn, they have their sales numbers 10 million, right? Uh,
Yeah.
Hmm.
I bring it up all the time.
what do you call it? What do you call it? The Last of Us had its numbers.
Days gone.
Days Gone had its numbers. Uh, the
The
prequel,
Days Gone have its numbers.
yeah,
God of War.
yeah, they're sitting at around 6 million right now. God of War had its numbers. Like a detailed breakdown. The more successful you are, the quicker you'll get those fucking numbers. By the way, it's like they're
Right.
waiting to hit a certain milestone. Even Uncharted had its numbers released. I think they did like 16 million or some shit like that. And the prequel to the four-letter game or four-word game, we all know what is that, like 18 or 20 something million. They gave you a
Yeah,
break.
20 million.
They give you a breakdown of what is digital, what is hard copy, what is previous console, and everything. But for some reason, the sequel to their biggest, second biggest game doesn't get any numbers. But we do know about their awards, though. We know that
Mm.
got 100 and got 280 awards approximately. We got that though. And then you look at the volatile nature of the developers, where if anyone speaks ill of this four-word game, you are instantly a bigot. So it's like this. It's like this four-word game is being protected by the media itself. The same thing's going on with Disney, by the way. When they fired Gina Carano from the Star Wars,
Yeah.
it affected everything, including Disney Plus. And it's funny thing too. I remember everybody was like, "Oh, you thought Gina Carano was going to blah blah blah," but guess what? Disney Plus has 9 million. Do you know that Disney Plus just raised their price, even if it's $1? Why are you raising it? I thought you were successful. Going back to WandaVision, right? WandaVision would receive before the Gina Carano fire about 4 million views per episode. When this whole debacle came out about Chinese camps and her getting fired for political views, it went from 2 million to 1 million. Or 2 million, I'm sorry, from 4 million to 2 million. The new Captain America didn't even beat out a 4-hour movie. It's starting to affect their bottom line, and they repeatedly make the same mistakes trying this crusade of being so virtuous, and it does nothing for them in the end. Because people are going to people, and you can't force them to think differently. They're going to pretend like they think one thing, and then they're going to do something else behind the scenes. Jeremy, what do you have to say about this?
I already told you what I figured they sell. We just talked about this the other day. I think they sold around 6 million, but if it wouldn't have been for political shit, it'd been close to 20.
I think it sold about 7 million, but we don't know. The numbers are weird because when it
I
first
think
came,
it sold less than Ghost. I'd say it's 6, and
Nah, it
Ghost is
sold
at
more
six
than
and a half.
Ghost.
it sold more than
I don't
Ghost.
know. I haven't heard a peep. They sold like 4 million out the gate.
It sold
I
more
ain't
than
heard
Ghost.
shit from that.
If you look at the especially in Europe and other countries, it sold more than Ghost. You can see the figures. Like in Germany, Italy, it sold more, like 200 to 300,000
now,
more.
now, Huss. I'm not saying Hush. I'm saying Huss. People probably thinking it's a rude ass nigga. This nigga said Hush, but Huss. Uh, if you looked at the sales, and I was following this, it vastly outpaced Ghost of Tsushima, right? And then all of a sudden, Ghost of Tsushima was going up in the top 10 most sold games, and the 4 word game was going down. And now they're neck and neck. One is a new IP that is highly specialized, very niche. And one is the
Ghost?
huh?
Do you mean Ghost is specialized?
Yeah, it's a niche game. And one,
Well, I don't think so.
you don't think it's a
I
niche
don't
game?
either. If you play Assassin's Creed, you play that.
Assassin's, it's a mainstream game because it's open world action adventure. That's one of the most mainstream genres there is.
So how come it didn't do? How come it didn't do those numbers then?
Because it's new.
No,
If it was on
Ghost of
every
Tsushima
platform
is
too, it would have
extremely.
been 15, 20.
How come?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
extremely successful.
Okay, so how come the it is? I'm not taking it away that it's extremely successful. It is a samurai game, and not a lot of people are into like if it were a stylized samurai game, then it'll been a different story. But this is really, I mean, it is still stylized, but it's not as stylized as it could be. Um, I think it would have did more. Horizon Zero Dawn did 10 in its first year, but this one didn't. It did 6.5 million.
It still hasn't been 1 year though.
It's
It
almost.
still
A
hasn't
year.
been. It hasn't come up
So
to its anniversary. So when it comes up to its anniversary,
it's gonna be 7 million.
nah, I think it's because of the life cycle. It isn't. Also, Ghost has a little bit of a disadvantage because it doesn't have bundling. Because if you think about Horizon was in midpoint of the PS4 life cycle, so it had more
They
better
said
sales legs.
sold through 10 million. Sold through. People bought that.
Yeah, but it's been out for 4 years.
No, the first
Yeah,
year
it's been a
the first year it did 10 million.
yeah, but that was during peak PS4.
And I get it, but the same thing. It's the game that is 4 words did about 9 million on a PS3, 8-9 million.
Yeah, it did 9 million and then did the rest on PS4. But that was over 7 years. That was over a long period of time, and it was in bundles a lot.
Regardless
Still
of the
a
matter,
sale.
regardless it sells itself. Regardless of the moment,
Yeah.
it's different. The way that they do numbers now, the bundles are different. There's digital shit and then there's actual physical shit, and we already know that it's about half and half at this point. Horizon sold it.
But they kept. Excuse, yeah, keep on going. Sorry.
I was going to say Horizon did its numbers fair and square.
Yeah, Horizon. Yeah, Horizon.
I'm pretty sure
very
Horizon would have
successful
been.
game.
I'm pretty sure Horizon would have been at 50 million. And I was thinking about why Horizon was successful, and I think it has a lot to do with just looking different from everything the fuck else. It just looks vastly different.
I can't imagine being a developer and pitching that game to any publisher. They'd be look at you like you fucking crazy. You want how much to make what? You know what I mean? I mean, just think about the concept about it.
even it's not safe for a samurai game either. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they're taking chances. That's what I
It's
like.
definitely
It's something
like it's
different.
not safe for a samurai game. Like that's not even like. All right, sorry, I got a message. It's not even like you can't even say it's like like it's so popular. I mean, one could say that no one's doing samurai games, and it's like you can pitch it as an Assassin's Creed, but with samurai people, whatever the case is. But there is already an Assassin's Creed, and then Sucker Punch is not even known for this shit. You know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
Gorilla
So
went from first-person shooter to open world action adventure game in the future with fucking robot dinosaurs. It's like I can't imagine being like, "Hey, we want to make this game." I'm not gonna lie, if I would have been the boss, I'd have been like, "You're fucking high. You want 120 million dollars to make that? I don't know
and
if
then
that's gonna make any
the
money."
same thing with Ghost of Tsushima. They was flown out to fucking Japan to get all this reference material and all this other shit. And you gave them you never even made a hack and slash game before ever. You know what I'm saying? You never even made one. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you want to do what? Didn't you make like platformers? How do you want to do like you don't even you were never good at like Infamous is a third person shooter. That's what that is. But instead of bullets, you get smoke or lightning. It's the same cover mechanics and everything as a third person shooter. So it's safe relatively. That's what the skin of a superhero game. This is totally fucking different and they fucking nailed it. Nailed it.
Oh, it's the same thing with Ben too. They went from Siphon Filter and
Ben Studios were saved by the zombie genre. No matter how many people, that's another thing. People say one thing, do another. Oh, I'm so tired of zombie games, and then you pick this shit up. You know what I'm saying? You
well,
still,
it was different than other zombie games though
it's still
too.
a zombie game. Them niggas is decaying. It's zombies,
Yeah, no
whether they're
matter if
living
they
or not.
call them freakers or not, them shits are zombies.
Same thing with
Yep.
the most different zombie I've ever seen before is the Plagas from Resident Evil, and the Cordyceps people from that four
You
word
talking
game.
about Resident Evil 4?
Yeah.
Oh, I just beat that again for like the 75th time.
So like that's what I'm
I like
saying.
that game.
So going back on the topic there, I think it underperformed. Why would you be afraid of the numbers? Same thing with PS5. PS5 underperformed too, but for the different reasons.
They can't. They
Yeah,
can't
because
make them more.
we haven't got no official numbers. Because everybody's speculating.
And the
I
reason
think it was 6.1
that's
million that
not
I've heard, but
that's
Those are speculations. Those aren't
speculative. Yeah.
official.
it's not official. A, B. Um, the reason why they don't want to say anything is it's within 1% of the PlayStation 4, and that just does not look good to shareholders. Now, the reason why the PlayStation 5 isn't selling is because as immediately as they're getting made, they're getting snatched. And we have a
Yeah,
Yeah.
semiconductor,
shortage.
right? And we have a semiconductor shortage. The number doesn't look good. That's why they're not saying anything. Everything else they're saying, they even announced. It's weird because they even announced 6.5 million. And the reason why they were proud to announce that shit is because it's a fucking new IP, and they're making a movie.
I think we'll get numbers for The Last of Us when they re-release on PS5.
What do you say?
I think we'll get numbers for the Tilu 2 when they re-release it for PS5. When they have the 1 year anniversary.
I even believe.
I think it'll be like 10 million.
I even believe that it's so dire. That's the reason why there's no multiplayer component yet. I don't think it's because it's big. I think that it had such negative press that they don't want that number to underperform either, and they have to eventually release those numbers as well. I think it was a lot of people that just did not like or feel the direction that game was going. I feel like it underperformed for sure.
It might have. I think it's overall it's still successful, yeah, but it might have not met. What's the word I'm trying to look for?
The
It
expectations.
didn't perform as. It didn't. It didn't see its true potential because of the backlash and all that. I think they advertised it wrong, and they had the data, whatever the breach, whatever the plot leak.
So that's what I think is going on, and I think that when someone has their views so far up their fucking title, I think it will affect your shit. Ghost of Tsushima didn't have to be clear. It's I mean, they just basically. I was thinking this too. I think I had a conversation with Lawrence and Jeremy. Ghost or and Jemiah too. I think Ghost of Tsushima in that case, the objective for that game was the authenticity of Japan or their stylized vision of Japan and its storyline for Jin Sakai and his change over from having honor to being dishonored. That's all they were doing, and that was it. Then you have other games that wanted to throw direct political parallels to this, to what we're living in now, using colorful words as bigot and dyke, you know, and what do you call it, being Catholic? I think Jewish. They got the religion going down. They got the fucking sexuality in there. They got the transgendered in there. Like every checkbox was hit, every single one.
Yeah, but it's a contemporary game, so it's set in modern settings, so it would have those stuff.
Nope.
I think,
But
to
but
me,
but let me ask you this: if you think that
let
it's
me finish my statement. Let me finish my statement. Just a sec. Thank you. I think if you look at Ghost of Tsushima is a more political game than Last of Us Part Two to me, because Ghost of Tsushima is it's really about class struggle. So it's about the samurai and the peasants, and you also have some like gay characters and women warriors when that was not well they had people like that back in the day, but it was very very rare, and it's not representative of the actual time period. Whereas Last of Us, it's a contemporary setting where you have people like that exist normally. Well, it's more open now than ever before. So I don't know.
I'm going to say this because my whole point is not to rag on the game. My whole point is to say that if you put your reviews in there, let me tell you this: the same thing happened in Germany. They ran out of fucking soldiers and shit like that when they had that fucking war. They got female soldiers, female snipers, and all sorts of stuff. It wasn't no political things. They just needed fucking bodies to throw at the war. So it's not shocking that they have female samurai. That's not shocking because they had to throw anything at the fucking war. You got people invading your shit. In terms of the whole gay situation, you gotta put strategic plot twists in there. You know what I'm saying? And in terms of contemporary shit that you mentioned, you gotta look at it like this. Um, there are other zombie games that don't have nowhere near the amount of fucking contemporary things that you say, which is 30 years in the future. It could be any fucking thing. Shit.
Well,
Even though
Days Gone has it.
Gay Days gonna have what?
Days Gone has bisexual characters. It has
It's not
people
the
of color.
sexuality. It's not the sexuality. It's the amount of shit that they put in there. It's so many check boxes that they've done to appease every single fucking facet, so they won't offend anybody. Days Gone had a traditional marriage essentially, and a traditional relationship, and people ragged on that shit by the way. But they also had like a lesbian character.
Yeah, but
But that was
the
a part of.
people
Hold
the
on,
people
hold
that
on. Wait a minute. It had that, and it's just that was pretty much it though. That was pretty much it. I mean, the guy is a religious zealot, but there was okay. You got a lesbian character and you got a religious zealot, which is typical of zombie games. You got Resident Evil that don't even have shit like that in there at all. There's other zombie games where you got transgendered, um, gay characters, straight characters, black people, or race baiting or whatever the fuck you want to call that shit.
Yeah, I think Code Veronica was the first one that had like not a transgender but a cross character because Code Veronica.
That's Japanese
The
culture
last,
though. Japanese culture has
yeah,
they've there's anime. They've been ahead of the curve. They don't use it as a fucking political statement. They just throw that shit in there. That's how their culture is, and this is different. You haven't made a game
Yeah.
in the past beyond this. You had traditional values, and all of a sudden, you have all this shit in there.
I think just the way they advertised it was stupid. I think if they just put it in there
Which
subtly, no one would give a shit.
which one? You talking about that? Okay,
Tulu, Tulu. I think no one would give a shit if they didn't advertise it as much.
because it was basically meant.
And then Druckmann is an idiot on Twitter. He shouldn't
He
fucking.
shouldn't be
He's got
commenting.
a he no he's got a like a something like a personality. I'm trying to think of the word. Sorry. He's got a little bit like if he just did his art and then just shut up, and people will like it or hate it, and that's what it is. You don't have to be so passive aggressive on Twitter.
All of them are though. All of them, and it's like this is what I'm noticing about in general. Companies are just hiring people just to hire them. I said this shit last week, I believe. You just making characters. You picking characters. They don't even fucking have a real. You know what I'm saying? Like a real let me pick a fucking transgender character that has no acting career ever. For what reason? And then you look at a lot of the Naughty Dog staff. There's a lot of people that are part of the LGBT. A lot of them. Rainbows and fucking Skittles and fucking all sorts of shit in their bios. All of them. Like most of them. And I get that you're proud and shit like that, but could you imagine if this shit was flipped? That's what I don't like about this fucking new world that we living in. It is not them. It's not them at all. It's so lopsided. I can't even be straight anymore. Apparently, that's offensive.
Uh, I don't believe that to be true.
Go ahead, watch that little Nas
Don't work.
video.
Yeah, but that
Not work
you don't
at
have
a,
to watch. You don't
like
have
a
to watch
gaming
that
business.
video.
What happened?
Sorry, it was Jeremy.
Yeah, I
What
was
did
just
you
saying,
say?
like, if you worked at you better be social justice or gay or lesbian or something if you wanted to work at like a gaming publishing place, like like an IGN or something.
You get better.
No.
You better be one of the two.
You get better results if you're like that, and that's statistically proven. Period. That you can look up those statistics on your own and figure that out. I'm not just saying that just to say it. You saying you don't have to look at it. You don't have to look at it if you don't want to. But if it's in all,
It's everywhere.
If it's in all of my media, what choice do I have? If I believe in traditional values, where do I go?
Church.
Point taken.
Sarcasm, sorry.
What about you? What about you, Tay? What you gotta say about this shit? Oh, you fucking bought it out. Ain't this a bitch? I mean, I know what I'm saying is super controversial, and I'm not really trying to be. I'm not. I'm really not. My whole objective is to say that if you are putting this stuff into your games to make a statement, and if the shit don't sell, then how strong are you in your beliefs in the stuff that you put in your game or medium? How strong are you? Do you really care that much when the money stops flowing that you're going to continue to do this shit until the fucking ship sinks? Ultimately, everything's run by money.
It's just yeah. Obviously, if there's like a big black moral backlash and then shit doesn't sell, they got to change perspective. But I think if I don't know, if it's just like subtly in there or whatever, I think most people ignore it or don't even make a big deal out of it. I think there's a lot of people that get outraged on both sides of things. They get outraged just for the sake of outrage, and then they can monetize it.
Well,
Because
people,
normally they wouldn't give a shit.
It's not everybody. See, you're taking it as if everybody's being outraged about everything. There's a starting point to the outrage, for sure. And it's not normal people that are just becoming outraged. It's not. There are people literally going into the histories and going through 10, 20 years of fucking history just to get outraged by something. pancakes
Yeah.
and fucking syrup and the fucking James Gunn said some really vile shit. I never even known it was that bad. I'm gonna read to you what James Gunn said.
Nah, don't read it. I know what he said. I don't want to. I don't want to fucking hear that shit. It's not even funny.
Like
Nah, like
where was
for
his?
me, like anything to do with little kids, don't fucking like don't even talk about that
I'm
shit. I
not gonna
reckon you should
mention
be
a little
fucking hung
kid
and shot.
person. I'm not gonna mention a little.
And making joke and I like not to be like over like fucking judgmental, but if you make jokes around that shit and you're interested in media around that shit, like I'm like you're suspect to me. You know, like you're giving me off a really bad vibe, and I just don't
I'm
like that type
not
of stuff.
everybody knows what James Gunn says, so I'm gonna skate around that portion specifically because of the YouTube channel itself. But he says this. This is James Gunn that produced the fucking what's that new movie he's doing?
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, which looks good by the way.
Oh, the second one. He's
Hmm.
doing the second one.
I think that's a reboot. I don't think that's a second one. But who knows? Whatever. He says this. This is June 10th of 2008. He says laughter is the best medicine. That's why I laugh at people with AIDS. It's one of the things he said.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question to you, specifically, Huss. Do you believe people can change?
Yes.
So what if he's one and was like, I said some fucked up shit back in the day, man. I mean, I was young and stupid. How would you feel about him?
Well, I have to see the proof of your change.
I mean,
Um,
if he goes, here's the thing. Here's why that doesn't make a difference, right? You saying I want to see proof of your change. He can never do that shit in public again. Ever.
yep.
And you would never know. It would look like on the outside that he changed. Easy. Easy. Right? But behind closed doors, he could be what you said with the child stuff. He could be like that.
Yep.
But
Well, we don't know until he gets. We don't know until he gets caught.
But you wouldn't
That's
know
why
though.
you have
You could be nice as shit. You would never know. That's my whole point. This whole crusade of trying to make people be better is not the way to go. You don't make people be better because they have to be better about themselves. They just won't talk about it. I'm sure there's a lot of racist people out there that are in positions of power and don't want to lose their
Yeah, of
jobs, but they
course.
pretend like everything's gravy, but they will never get hired. That's my whole point. This whole thing is fake. Naughty Dog don't give a fuck about the LGBT, except for the people that's in the LGBT. And that Neil Druckmann don't give a fuck about that shit. He's not a part of LGBT. He has a fucking wife. He doesn't care.
Yeah, but you can make characters that are not of your persuasion.
Yes, you can. And you're making such a generalized statement about you can make a character that's not of your persuasion. And not even just gays. I don't want him doing anything about black either. Because I know it's not coming from a genuine place. It's coming from brownie points. You want brownie points on social media. That's why I don't fuck with him. You don't have a history of doing it. That's the point. There's not throughout history you're not doing it. You know, and throughout history, most of Naughty Dog's games were about white men. Anyway. All of a sudden you just become progressive and I want to do every fucking race under the sun and their sexualities on top of it? When did this happen? And why? They're not the only ones that's doing it. Fucking Disney is doing it. I don't like when people be fake. I don't like that shit. That's my whole grievance with them too. And I'm glad. I hope Sony sees this shit and be like, never do that shit again. Never do it again. You can have a storyline.
They won't.
I hope so. They can have a storyline with politics, right? You can. But a lot of the stories that have politics, it's a part of the whole storyline of what they're doing. And most storylines
What do you think about the movement where they say, "Oh, this game's not political," when it clearly is?
What game? Who's saying this?
You know how they ask if the game is political, and then developers say it's not political, but the game is about war, which is political in itself.
I never heard of an example of someone doing that.
They're like, we know Modern Warfare. They said the game is not political. What else was there? There was another example. I'm trying to figure it. But like, it was like MGS. You know how people say, "Oh, MGS is not political. Metal Gear Solid is not political," when it clearly is.
It is. Yeah.
So I will say
Yeah,
this.
like
I'll say this to answer your question, right?
it's
I think
people say don't put politics in games, but there's a lot of games that are extremely political.
I think people need to flesh out that statement because it's not.
She was over by me later.
Say again.
No, sorry, I'm talking to my wife. She was on me earlier.
I think what's going on with the politics in gaming is that a lot of things are intrinsically political, and a lot of things are going to be from the mind of the creator. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You can do that. The Where the problem happens is that if you directly seek out making a statement instead of making a piece of literature, it's like you can kind of. It's hard to kind of quantify and say, but you can tell when somebody is literally looking at today's shit and putting their views on there. The whole thing is this: everybody is an enemy. Which you learned this from Metal Gear Solid. Everybody's an enemy on the opposite side. So you trying to push your agenda on saying this is right, this is the only way, makes it wrong. You know, trying to do a lot of fucked up shit, but you know, they don't see themselves as being enemies. They see us trying to change them. You know what I mean? And in the eyes of the beholder, that's the problem. Most games back in the day, like when they make Modern Warfare, they're just trying to show a snapshot of what's happening, rather than trying to say that you're wrong if you think this way. I think that's the difference.
I don't know. Bioshock is the critique of objectivism. The first Bioshock, it's a clear. Well, I don't know. Some people take it the other way, but I think it's a clear critique of objectivism and libertarianism. So it's kind of got an agenda there.
Yeah, but are they pushing it towards you? Or, you know
No,
what I'm
but
saying?
it's a
No. The answer is either yes or no. If they're not pushing it, then there's no agenda.
well, if you consume it, it's pushing it. Like
No,
I don't know.
that's not what pushing it means. If you set a cheesecake on my table right now, that's not pushing me to eat it. But if you say, "Hey, look at this cheesecake. You see that here? You got the little strawberries in there. Ooh, that looks good, don't it? Ooh, that looks real good." You know, not many people can resist this.
And then in that case, yes.
That's really good. Look
In
at
that case,
you want something? You sure you want? That's pushing shit, which is what that
in that
game
case,
is.
Bioshock, yeah, it is pushing it. To me, it's a clear critique of objectivism.
Are they pushing it or are they just showing?
No, they're pushing it because they're not portraying it in a good light. They're saying a society that has no rules collapses.
But that's objective. That's true though. You gotta
Yeah,
have order.
exactly. That's what objectivism is. That's libertarianism as
But
well.
you can't lump this into libertarian. You
'Cause-
can't lump that in there. That's a factual statement. I can't fly. That's a factual statement. Things without order collapses. You can't, and that's what's happening now. Well, what we are having. If we took every stoplight and traffic sign off the fucking streets, what do you think would happen?
Yeah, but that's the point of Bioshock One. Rapture is the personification of those ideals.
But again, that's not showing it in a bad light. That's showing what would eventually happen.
I think it's
If
showing
I
in
show,
the.
that's your
Uh,
perception. If I took all the road signs and traffic lights off the road and then showed you what would happen if you do that, you can't say that. Oh, you're showing it in a bad light. What about the good times that could happen? It will always
but you're
evolve into
making,
chaos.
but you're kind of making a point that we need rules and we need things.
There,
Signs.
you
And
do need guidance and rules. Yes, you do. To have a functioning society, absolutely. You can't just do what you want. Nowhere. There's
but
consequences.
yeah,
There's consequences for everything that you do. If I continue to drink, I will die.
yeah, exactly.
But that's not saying it's bad. That's just saying if you continue to do something that's negative, it will have negative outcome. Period. That's not pushing an agenda in your face. And it's subtle, to be honest. If you're saying that don't be like this, if that's what you're getting from it, they never said it. When what Naughty Dog is doing with this game is saying, "Oh, a
But
bigot sandwich.
the
He's a
but the
horrible person.
but
Somebody's
see,
got to fight for him."
this is my point. This is wait. This just let me have my thoughts here. Objectivism and idealism and libertarianism is all an idea, right? You're not born that way. It's a theory. It's thought. It's made by man. You have to think about it before. Whereas I don't know. Whereas like having people of color or
No, nigga,
homosexuals
you could just say black people. It's cool. It's fine.
or whatever, having people of whatever color, whatever, or homosexuals is natural, as in that it exists before it happened in ancient society, before there was any of these ideas, before there was objectivism and capitalism and all these ideas. So, what's more political, the thing that happened prehistory or the thing that happened in the modern history?
Let me ask you a question, right? I think
To me, all this, like, like all this left leaning and right leaning, ultra right leaning bullshit about gender identity and all this, it's all fucking stupid. Like, it's getting away from the real core issues.
that's what happens when you
Like
take
real
away.
core, it's a distraction. It's a distraction of real political issues of like what your rights and how much you get paid for your work and what the government shouldn't do or shouldn't cover you and all your personal freedoms and liberties, and if you're getting a fair wage for fair time and you're resting, you're not fucking breaking your back at work and all that shit. That's all that shit is
This is the
fucking
reason.
distracting us from the
This
core
is
issues.
why. This is what happens when you take away rules. You get 78 genders and counting. There's nothing to stop anything from happening. Everything is a truth. Killer Tay,
What's up?
Yeah,
what you gotta say about this? You keep falling out the room.
I think I don't know. It's stupid. it's it's stupid. I don't think it should be pushed. And if you want to be that way. But
it's gonna be pushed because there's more people open now. That's the
But
whole thing.
what's causing it to be open?
nah, it doesn't. I mean,
It's
being
being
straight.
pushed.
You're
No,
gonna
no,
see
hold on, hold on.
you're
Let me
gonna see
finish.
more gay
Let me
characters
finish.
because
Let me
there's
finish. Let me
gay
finish. Let me
people
finish.
accepted.
Let him finish.
Let me finish though. Let me finish though. I'm not pushing a gay person straight by making a straight game. So why should I push a gay person? I mean, push a gay game on straight people.
But what makes the game gay?
What makes a game
I
straight?
mean,
What makes a game straight?
I'm just using that as an open
No.
Is
statement.
that
I get what you're
because
saying. What makes a game
If
straight?
I'm using if I'm using a like if I'm using a straight character that's married to a straight woman and I'm putting emphasis on that straight woman and gay I mean that straight woman and that straight man, I'm not pushing it on you. I mean, it's your business, hate it or not, because they're straight. But if you want that fucking gay couple or that 86 fucking sexuality gender couple, then you make your own fucking game and I shouldn't have to appease you. I shouldn't have to put it in my game to appease you because you want a game that why don't you go to the same fucking school and make those kind of fucking games and see if the people that you're trying to push that narrative to will go out and buy it.
What about you, Lawrence?
I don't know, man. This is crazy. It's like there's extremes on both sides, right? Like the two thought processes. Like I don't care, or I don't. It's not a part of my lifestyle, so I don't care for for the agenda that you see being pushed. I don't like it being pushed in my face, but at the same time, I don't care that they put it in the games. It's like whatever. But it gets to a point where it feels like it's too much and it doesn't seem natural. Now, if it affects the game, like in my case, I still enjoyed The Last of Us 2. I'm gonna say it. Fuck it, y'all trying to be politically correct and shit. Nice. The Last of Us 2, the game. I enjoyed that game. God damn it, you
Cancel.
know what I'm saying?
Finna be canceled.
I just didn't want to hear
But what?
I just didn't want to see have lurkers sneak up in my shit. Like you talk about
Oh,
little
yeah,
girl.
it's gonna happen anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're crazy enough to stalk your page, bro, they already and they listened through this far, bro. It was gonna happen anyways. It was gonna be between the lines. But like they was gonna get you out of the way. They was gonna
But
it's gonna make it worse.
I
If you
didn't
didn't
say
say
the
it.
name though, so I never
Yes,
was really talking about it.
for those listening, all four of y'all, you know what I'm saying? We are talking about The Last of Us 2, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Fantastic game, by the way, award winning. Yeah, but I enjoyed the game. You know what I'm saying? And the things that made me uncomfortable with that game wasn't about the political agendas or anything like that. It was just that I can't. It just made me feel uneasy the whole fucking time I played the game.
I got a
But
question for you.
you know what I'm saying? What's up?
Go ahead.
Oh my
No,
bad.
go ahead and finish your statement. I'll wait till you. I'll
Okay.
wait till you.
I said the game made me feel uneasy, but it wasn't because of the political agendas that were going on. I just didn't. I don't care for that stuff, but it's like at the same time, I'm just taking it for what it was. It's just characters that just happen to live a certain lifestyle that were in the game. But I'm there for their story. I didn't too much care about all that extra shit, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what I was getting at, but anyways, I'll say I don't care for what they're doing, but at the same time, I feel like we kind of over. Some people are overreacting to the fact that it's in the game. Like, how many games has Naughty Dog made to where they had these type of characters that live that certain lifestyle? This is like what their first or second game because Ellie basically came out in the DLC or the standoff game
A game
that
and
they
a
had for
half.
the first
That's
game.
what I read
So
between
it's
the
like
lines.
so it's like two games. So like why are we like it's not like and yes we're in a time where more people are coming out. So you're gonna see an influx of games where people are being represented and you know what I'm saying? It's like so I'm like, okay, I don't too much care for it, but I understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, whatever it is. But I just don't like it being pushed at me. Like everything is like that. But it was, but it's like at the same time, it's like you control your media, bro. So at the same time, if you know that that's what's inside of it, if you don't like the game, you don't want to support it, then it is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
Killer
I
Tay.
see both sides. I can see both sides of the argument, like I said, but there are extremes on both sides, on both cases.
Killer Tay, what was the question you wanted to ask?
Now, my question:
Mm-hmm.
if the first game never came out, right? We never got the DLC to Left Behind, right?
Right.
And this game had it came out. First game, brand new,
Mm,
and this was all
mm,
that was in it.
mm, mm,
Still
mm.
have
Mm-hmm.
the same opinion?
It's kind of hard to say because so check this out. Like
No,
that's
no.
like saying
I'm
that's
just saying.
wait.
Just,
No, I'm
just,
answering your
just.
question.
Yeah,
I'm answering your question.
yeah.
So what I'm saying is this is a part two of a game. That's like you telling me, hey, would this incomplete story, you know what I'm saying? Would this incomplete story still be good without the first part of the story, without the intro, without the context? Like
No,
the first
cause
game gave the second game a lot of context. There's not one without the other. You could say that the first game without the second part, but you can't have the second part without the first part.
Oh
but
no, you can.
It's
yeah,
a
Yes, you
continuation of the
with
can.
story.
this,
Yes, you can.
with this sequel,
It's a direct
you
sequel to
most
the first
definitely,
game.
yeah. But you can go into this game without even knowing what happened in the first game, unless you want some notoriety of what the characters were. because they explained everything in the first game in
certainly
the
do.
in
That's
the
true. In
second
the
game.
very first
Yeah,
scene.
So
but it's still the
so
context wouldn't be as fleshed out. Like we had a whole game explaining what was
but
going on in the
I
first
that
game.
wouldn't
know,
be a problem. That
but
wouldn't be a
we know
problem
Joe.
because
We
the first
know.
game wouldn't be there.
Hold on, Killer. I'm gonna touch upon this, and I'm gonna let you go. We didn't know anything about Joe. All they needed was a good 10 minutes for us to like Joe.
Yeah, y'all doing this what if scenario, but it's like this is what happened. You can't do
No,
a what if scenario
but it's a simple
about
question
something
though.
that's
But
a fact.
it's a simple question.
Yeah,
I was
it's
And I
it,
answered.
it's a hypothetical. You
I
didn't know
mean,
nothing
I
about the
probably
first game.
wouldn't enjoy the game as much because there wouldn't be any context. We're
but
not
they already had context.
we don't
No,
attach to
but
these
yeah, but
characters. They would
no,
have
but
to
you had
make the game longer for us to build it. You know what I'm saying? To
but
actually like the characters and then lose the characters. Like we know the characters before going into the
Did you
game.
feel bad about
but
Joe's daughter dying though? Because she was only
Yes,
there.
I did.
She was only
I
on the
did.
screen for like
But
10 minutes.
we had a chance to get to see her. Like Joel showed up literally 10 minutes and then he died in 10 minutes. But the girl, we got to see her wake up. You
They
know,
no
they had a
Joe
moment. She had a
died.
moment with her daddy.
yeah,
Joe died
She had a
within the
moment with
first.
her dad.
Joe
She gave
died
him the
within the
present.
first
We got to
45
see her.
minutes, and they were able to in the first game get you to understand Sarah, get you to understand Joel, get you to understand the brother, all in that 15-minute sequence. So they could do it.
Yeah, but you're talking about compromise, man. Like this is a
No,
fully
no,
fleshed
no.
out story.
I felt, and
no,
you know what?
it's
You
not.
want to know
It's
something?
not
It's not
even.
even
It's not
compromise.
even. It's not even.
Look at
It's not
Henry.
even
Look at him.
compromise. It's a hypothetical.
Look at Henry and his brother. They didn't have that much time. Well, 30 minutes.
They ain't even have that.
They popped up on the screen, 30 minutes, and was done with it. And I felt profoundly affected by that story specifically than any other part of the game other than seeing Ellie about to die.
Yeah, that was a really good part.
You didn't need a whole 45 fucking minutes to barely tell me what the context of the game was. That goes to show you how the game falls apart in general. Because it's so reliant
Especially
on the
the
first
second.
game.
Yeah, that's why I was asking if you
It's
had
called
known
it's
nothing
called The
because you're
Last of Us
answering
Part
because you're still
Two, though,
answering the
bro.
question
Man,
that
I
yeah,
don't
but you
get what
still
you're saying, bro.
but you still because you're answering the question because you know what happened in the first game. I'm saying forget the
Right,
first game. The first game never even happened. We're
but
that the
it's
first
called
game would
Part
be part two.
Two.
No. But listen, the first
Okay,
game would be part one, right? The first game would be actual prequel. It would be the actual part two. You got
right.
this game first.
Let,
You
All right,
got
so
part two
Tay,
let,
Tay,
let me ask you a question here.
I'm
It's a little bit of a trick question.
going quick question.
You go first.
I
Yeah.
hate to ask a question with a question, but Tay, you don't think The Last of Us Part Two, not say it was the first iteration of the game, you don't think it would have been a different game if there wasn't a first game? You don't think they would have wrote the game a little differently? The pacing would have been different if that first game didn't exist?
No, I
So
think
you
this game
telling
would
me
be the
like
same
what if the
game.
game didn't exist? We'd
I
have
think
a
this
totally
game would be the
different
same
game.
game.
He asked me a
I
I
don't
think
question.
I think
even
you
call
know
Part
what?
Two for a reason.
Matter of fact, I think the story would be better because whoever helped him with the first game was the actual fucking mastermind behind how good the first game was.
All right, that's
So
subjective. But what
yes,
I'm saying is the
I
game is
think the
called Part
second
Two, though. It's called Part Two. It's not called.
yeah
Forget,
it's
forget,
Not
yeah,
called.
forget,
but
forget,
it
forget
would it
Commander.
wouldn't even be
Forget.
called
Oh,
part two. It
the
was
Part
no
Two.
no. What I'm saying is
You,
what I'm saying.
see what
But you
what he's
yeah
using is this. It's called part two to try to eliminate the argument. All right,
yeah.
I'll bite because that
But
shouldn't really
part
matter.
two
The name
wouldn't
shouldn't
even
really
be in the
matter.
title.
Wait,
Yeah,
hold on,
the part
wait. The
two
name
wouldn't be
shouldn't
in the
matter. You
title.
want to know something? You want to know something about me? The Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 for a movie, right? You definitely didn't need the first movie for the second one. The brain context
Yeah,
of that
but with
shit.
the
And
but
it
if
was a better
but
movie
if
than the
you
first one. I'll do
but if you knew the first one, if you watched the first one, you would have better context
I didn't.
and you
How
appreciate
about
the
this,
switch.
Huss? How about this, Huss?
No, you got the context
When
in
I
part two.
first saw Terminator 2, I have never seen Terminator 1, and that became one of my instant favorite fucking movies. You don't
Yeah,
need
because it's a
just
good
because
movie.
just because it's a sequel doesn't mean that the fucking game should fall apart because you removed the first one. It
But
doesn't mean that.
technically, by definition,
Aliens,
the word "part" stands for partial, bro.
aliens.
It's the abbreviation of partial. So if it's telling you it's partial, it's a part of a whole. The first part and the second
But
part are a whole story, bro.
but
That's the
no
marketing
no
machine that
no
created
no.
that game. That's the one to do that.
But listen though,
Written
listen
out how
though.
you look. By definition, that's
You
what it is, bro. It's a
no.
part of
But listen though. When I asked that question though, you're still seeing part two as part two. Part two wouldn't even be in the title. It would just be the last of.
Yeah, but then
That's
the
why I
game.
asked the question.
Yeah, but it would be a different
If
game. It
if
wouldn't
I
be the same
watch
game.
No, it
if
wouldn't be a different
yes
game.
it would have.
You
Yes
can't
it
have
would
one
be the
without
same
the
game.
other. It would have to change the
Because
game.
They
look.
would
No, they
change the
wouldn't. All
yeah,
that
they
would
would
all
change it.
look. They do it with games already. They come out with the prequel after the first game. So what do you mean? How would it be different?
They worried about the seek. They worried about the whole part two and part one and two. That is a.
That's what I'm
The whole
saying.
thing is this: if you're a good fucking writer, you don't need the fucking prequel to make, or you don't need this the predecessor to make it better.
Yeah.
There are many sequels to games.
So are you assuming that the first game, like they didn't start writing the second part until the first one was finished? Like you're assuming that this wasn't the whole story and they got broken up in the first place. Like
Are
that
you
happens
assuming
all the
there's a
time.
part three to this
I'm not
story?
assuming anything. When I'm saying I'm taking the game as
I
what it
think
is
there is a part 3.
given to us.
I don't
I
think
don't
there
want
I
is.
this
think.
part.
Let me tell you. Let me
Because
explain something. Let me
Neil
explain something
Druckmann
to
already
you.
said that he had no
Let me tell
emphasis
you.
on
Let
putting
me
a part
explain
three.
something to you. Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog and friends basically
Mhm.
stated that there was a lot of different ideas that The Last of Us could have went, which is indicative of that this what we got came up much later. It wasn't like he wrote the entire storyline. Like for instance, The Matrix. The Matrix was written 1 through 3 all together. All together. This one was like they
Games are
made,
written different.
huh?
They must got tired after one.
The problem with here's the thing. This is what happened, right? It's not necessarily that they got tired. It's what gets kept and what isn't. See, the thing about it is this, because I looked into this. Matrix is one of my favorite movies, and the funny thing is, The Matrix 2 is my favorite in terms of how much I enjoyed it. What was better written was The Matrix 1. But my overall enjoyment was definitely 2, and at least I couldn't stand. Well, I shouldn't say I couldn't stand. I really like 3. But the whole thing about The Matrix 2 flipped everything from The Matrix 1 on its head. The Matrix 1 had a traditional story, had a love interest, it had a savior figure, which was Neo, and it had a happy ending where he destroyed it. He destroyed the antagonist, right? So The Matrix 2 incorporated or changed everything. Actually, the antagonist was the Oracle. She was the fucking person that was pulling all the strings and changing things. And on top of it, she changed her mind during the story. She told Trinity that she was going to fall in love with a dead man, right? Because the game is still, I mean, the movie is still grounded in reality. There's no oracles or anything like that. And then when he finally got to the architect, which was supposed to tell them, which was supposed to save everybody, when he gets to the architect says this is your purpose. You're supposed to be decommissioned as a person or as the one. We're supposed to take all that code out of you that you learned. And then from that point on, you're supposed to pick 23 humans to restart the fucking Zion, which Zion was a control of the systems of the machines anyway, to keep them at bay. There's a lot of shit going on with Reloaded than Surface. There's a lot of metagame with that movie, but it was still written from 1 to 3. This Last of Us situation, I feel like I don't want to say they wrote themselves into a dead end, but they wanted to try to crush the emotional impact of the first game. They could no longer focus on killing a little child to pull on your heartstrings. You know what I'm saying? So they had to up the ante. We have to kill a main character so you could feel that same type of feeling. I even go as far as to say this, right? If the game was so fully complete, then Abby's scenes would have been enough to create its own game. Can you honestly tell me that what character in The Last of Us Part 2 is better than The Last of Us Part 1? I know it's subjective, but I'm just curious to see what you guys' answers will be.
Last of Us 1. I like the Asian guy.
The Asian guy.
I like Ali and Dina. Yeah.
You
What's
mean
his name
Jesse?
again?
You
Jesse,
you
yeah.
didn't even know the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I've got bad memory, dude. I just forget everything.
Yeah.
I like Ali and Dina. I like all their scenes together.
But
But he won't even be
better than anything in the first game?
Yo, the fucking
Overall, I would say, look, I like Last of Us 2 better than number 1, but that's purely because on the gameplay.
Yeah, the gameplay is pretty.
And
good.
I like the complexity of the story, like the flashbacks and the way that it intertwines and the general theme of the general like themes of the story. Last of Us 1, I really like the ending of Last of Us 1. The ending is what cemented me as like that's a really good game because it wasn't the ending I expected, and that was really good.
But they didn't tell you how to.
That's what.
Either. That was up to you on how you want to interpret that. What was good and what was bad.
Last of Us 1, Joel is not a good person, and then the game tricked you into believing that Joel was a good person.
The game definitely did not trick you into believing he was a good
Yeah, that's what I said. He had that shit coming.
Nah, but you gotta. I hate when people say that. Nobody in that world is a good person. Everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's
That's
been killing
true.
each other for a good whip.
But he told
But
you. He told you in the
he's
first game already. I'm
he's
not a good person. I did this shit before. When did the game?
No.
When did the game trick you into thinking he was a good person?
Tay, no one in that world is a good person, or some people are, and some people, and a majority aren't. But the game, because Joel is so charismatic that you like him, and when you like someone, you pretend that they're a good person. And then the stuff that he does in the end,
no, he's right.
He's charismatic. He's just likable. Like I don't know what you can't explain why other people are charismatic and some aren't. Like some people, the way they talk is stilted.
Is she charismatic? She charismatic too?
Yeah.
She's like average.
Abby was really nice. If I was in her position, let me tell you, Joel would have been.
I didn't like her at first, but I liked her later.
I didn't like her throughout the whole game. It's not because of what she did to Joel. It has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with that.
She was just so nice to him.
The first
2 weeks with me.
She was a whole she was a whole asshole. She drugged everybody into her fucking problem. They didn't really want to do it. She pulled everybody to fucking.
All of them died.
She got all of them fucking killed. She was super fucking selfish. The whole fucking time.
Yeah, and Joel was selfish as well.
Everybody was. But what I'm saying is that she was everything that fucking Joe was and worse. Joe did things out of necessity. She was so fucking bloodlustful to try to fucking, I want him dead. That never happened with Joe.
Well, he did kill everyone she'd ever known.
Huh?
He did kill everyone she ever known or cared about.
Well, he killed one person.
Bro,
all the people in the Firefly, all those people. They're all good. He killed all of them.
Come on, man. Y'all going.
And when Joel was he knew it was coming because all the shit he done. He accepted his fate.
Yeah, he did.
Look. We all knew Joel was gonna die in this. Let's put that out there. We all knew he was gonna die. Nobody is negating that.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that people are using the argument that everybody is mad because Joel died, that's why nobody knows. That's not the reason. Is Abby is a horribly written character. She's a horribly written character. And if Laura Bailey wasn't the fucking voice actor for us, she would be completely terrible. That game would go. It would be shit.
Yeah, I think Ashley Johnson was robbed.
Now,
I think she was the better actor.
Not only that.
Oh yeah.
Not only that, right? But Ashley or Ellie was a horrible person. Horrible. I
Yeah.
did not
Nah,
like
I
I did
disagree with
not
that.
like Ellie at all in this game. She was a bitch the whole fucking time and self fucking absorbed and didn't care about anybody the fuck else and she was always aloof. I didn't like her. Even when she had our interaction with Dina, she still was like fucking a bitch. Or very aloof or just she wasn't
She was the
huh?
yeah. Keep on going, sir. Keep on going. Keep on going.
Even though she was all of those things, I still found Ashley a much better actress than everybody, other than
Me
fucking
too.
Troy Baker. Everybody was fucking mid tier. Everybody. I don't know if it was written that way or I don't know what happened, but that shit was mid tier. That's how I felt about it.
I think my personal take is that Ellie was so depressed and she had a PST and all that stuff
No, she
that
was. She
she
was.
acted
She did. But
she
that's
acted like a person that was depressed. Like
and that's exactly what she
she
did. She
came off.
did it.
Oh,
She did it exactly how she was supposed to do it. Everybody else
yeah,
was not convincing at all. Not Laura Bailey. She was
I,
not convincing.
I disagree with you there. But I think you know what the poorest characters were. I think was the supporting Abby's supporting cast. I think they weren't that great. What was his name Owen and the pregnant chick? I don't think
The
they were
pregnant chick was
that great.
actually Ashley Birch, and because of the script that she was given, it was she didn't sell that at all. She killed the fuck out
Yeah.
of the Tiny Tina and Aloy. But for some reason in this game, it just wasn't a well written game, gameplay wise. I mean, story wise, it just wasn't.
Nah, I like the
You,
themes
but
of the league.
you can like flawed things. I
I
like a
like
lot of
parts of
flawed
it.
things.
I like parts of the story. It's just
I
it has
especially like
some.
the flashbacks. The flashbacks were amazing to me, and then the cutaways, and then the ending where they do the cutaways of Joel.
Every
That's
time
I
you
was
see the
fucking.
relationship between Joel and Ellie was fucking top tier, top fucking
Yeah,
tier,
it
through the
was
fucking
amazing.
ceiling, top tier. That once again, I wouldn't even be surprised if they wrote that shit first and then had to piece all this shit together. Because again,
Possibly when I don't think they plan on making a second when they first wrote it.
No, they did. They did.
you,
The first one was so successful they were gonna make it.
I know, but I mean, when they wrote the
when they
first one, I
fucking
don't think
wrote
they
it,
were planning on
that
having
wasn't
it.
guaranteed that they were going to make that fucking money like that. That wasn't guaranteed. It was probably going to be relatively successful, but I can tell you this, and they didn't know it was going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? This is Naughty Dog's first M-rated game, so it was just like is this shit gonna really connect or whatever the case is? I think they were so focused on your emotional investment that to me, like a lot of things in there, not even talking about agendas or whatever the fuck they were trying to, it just wasn't written well as a game to me. It just wasn't. I didn't get the connection at all. I didn't feel I didn't feel shit throughout that whole game. I'm being deadly serious.
I had to get fucking counseling after the goddamn game because my fucking emotions were so all over the place. I felt like a pregnant woman on fucking on with depression or something.
Like it was a lot of for me. It was a
I
lot
don't
of
know what to fucking
Yeah,
think all the time.
she had PTSD. But
Um,
That game gave me
I don't.
PTSD.
hold on.
This is
People
what
say
people don't understand is
people
that The Last
people
of Us. You go, Tay. It's all right.
oh, my bad. But people say Joel is a bad person, but what was fucking Abby's dad? Abby's dad is willing to put a child
Yeah, he was an asshole.
To
under
save the
the
human
knife.
race? Yeah.
they already
Hold
Nah,
on,
he's
had
an
hold
if
on,
you
asshole.
hold on,
read
hold on.
the lore, they already said that they
There
tried
was
multiple times with other people and they didn't
and
work. It didn't work.
there was no success, and then it wouldn't even guarantee that it would be a fucking cure when they did it.
They could have ran tests on this little girl before they decided to do that. Number one, they didn't even get any consent from any fucking body. They killed his
Yeah, they
girl.
didn't even get
Yeah.
consent from her. I made that
And
argument
then
too in self-defense.
when the chick that died in the first one, what was her name? I forgot her name.
Marlene.
That died at the end. When Marlene asked him, "Would you do it if it was your fucking daughter?" He didn't even fucking answer.
No, he didn't. He didn't answer because he doesn't care. He went,
Yeah.
and then on top of it,
If
like,
it was my fucking daughter, I'm
a
not
lot of
doing
people
it.
made a lot of arguments about this shit. Even
Yeah.
if you
I don't know.
look
Her
at-
dad said in the room in that one scene, he said like, "I'm not really excited about this. I don't want to do this, but."
But how can you
And when
say
the-
I'm gonna kill this person? Just from a logistic standpoint, the only fucking cure that they've known of, or the only immune person that they've known of in this case, right? Why not preserve that and just study that shit? Because you have all the time in the fucking
How do you
world.
study a brain without taking it out
Blood samples. They do it all the time.
from the brain?
They do it all the time.
It's in the brain
They
tissue.
do it all the time with blood samples. You can fragments.
Okay,
of shit.
well the way they explain it in the story
he
is
wouldn't
they
e-
need the brain
But
tissue.
he was a vet. He wasn't even a surgeon. He's a
No, he
fucking
was
vet.
no, he was a surgeon. He was a doctor.
He was a what?
He was a doctor. He was a doctor.
I thought he was.
I
Yeah,
remember
I
him.
thought he was a vet.
Nah, he wasn't a vet.
He was a
He was a
pretty
brain surgeon.
world-renowned brain surgeon.
Even if, I mean, everybody's like, then when you make this argument, it's just a game. What the fuck? It's a poorly written fucking game. I know people with sicknesses. You can tell if people fucking have cancer by their blood samples. The blood is constantly circulating. Veins touch every fucking thing. Pieces of the fucking brain will be in your bloodstream. That's how it works.
You can. He could do if he was an actual surgeon. He could have did a spinal tap
And
and
kept
got
that shit moving.
whatever he needs. Yeah. Without her having to die to run tests.
Well, then he
or
ain't got no
whatever
damn
test he
story
needs.
though. You know, you
Huh?
can't be.
That's
You
the-
can't be that correct all the time though, just because you know what I mean. You
Yeah, it's
can't
because
really go that
people are
way with the story.
irrational.
No, I'm
Nothing-
talking about when we were saying that Joel was a bad person. Her dad was a fucking bad person too, because he could have thought of all that shit.
Yeah, but he's not a murderer.
He did.
Huh?
That is a murderer. He
He
probably killed a lot of
He
people.
was.
Yeah, but there's a difference between
This nigga was Dr. Kavuki.
fucking killing someone to save people's lives and then just killing people
Well,
just
he's
for
a fucking killer. Like
It's
cheap
still
scraps.
murder.
No, but even if let's take a look at the definition of what a murderer is. But even if
All right, think about. All right. Let's think about this logically. If Joel went to jury for what he did, all right, he had a jury, and then he was judged by his peers. Wouldn't he be guilty? He would be guilty. He would be found guilty. If the doctor has a case, an argument for bettering the betterment of man. Joel, if people knew everything Joel did, even in that town, if people knew what Joel did in that town, and if they knew exactly all the shit that he done in that town, he'll probably be exiled. Because even in that town, they heard whispers and rumors about what he's done. People were scared of him.
But this is the thing.
No, but the doctor wouldn't have a case either.
Hold on, Tay.
The doctor wouldn't have a case either. Go ahead.
I think the doctor would have had
Naughty
a case.
Dog fucking gaslit all of you motherfuckers that like this game. They shone a light in one direction, and the story in one direction. You're saying that Joel had this fucking history, but what about his brother? Okay, so they say the brother had the history too. What about fucking Marlene? They all have fucked up histories, but they decided only to talk about him. Like he was so terrible when he was just trying to survive. By the way, Huss.
No, but the brother.
By the way, Huss.
The brother left earlier though.
It doesn't matter. He still did it. He still did it. It doesn't matter.
But that. And then that people can change. Like people can change.
And that's what Joe did. He got his head bashed open with a golf club. What you mean?
And then you say you take it to a jury and you say the doctor has a case, but he doesn't because he's actually
but
coaching
I'm
a minor.
saying
By the way, Huss,
The-
the definition of a murderer is to kill somebody unlawfully and with premeditation. That is the definition of what the fuck the doctor did. He is killing her unlawfully because he's not supposed to do that shit, and he already knew about the shit.
And then taking it to the jury, right? the defendant would kill him because he would have been coaching a minor to kill herself.
And he might have
I don't know.
started. Like,
I see it a little
I
differently
think
when
you're
the
looking at this too logic.
the fate of the
It's an
human race.
illogical
Now,
world. It's
now
not a
we're taking
rational
it. Now we're
world.
taking it too logically. It always is round
Hey,
and
we
round
took it to
and
the
round and
jury.
go.
We took it to the
You
jury.
said take it to the jury. Now round and round it goes. Every time I try to have this conversation logistically with people,
Around it goes.
that's what happens. If I make sense, it's just a game, bro. If somebody asks me why I don't like it and I mention it, well, I feel like it's different because he had it coming to him. Well, so did everybody else. Well,
No, you
Joe
hate the game
did
'cause
everything.
You hate it because Joel died.
Or do you hate it
No.
because Joe died? And then they're like, well, what about this? Well, there was rumors and whispers about everybody, about Joe only. You think it wasn't whispers by anybody else? What's going on, Pug? Yo, you think it wasn't about anybody else in the world? What about the Seraphites? They fucked up too. How come I didn't hear anything about them? What about the Rattlers? I didn't hear anything about them motherfuckers either. But all of a sudden, Joe needs to be fucking has his head bashed the fuck open because of that narrative. Because they wanted you to.
No.
It's because Abby wanted revenge.
Abby was a jackass
Yo.
for what she did.
Yeah, but
Yo.
she had this burning desire for
She
revenge.
could have shot that
They'll probably
bitch.
kill.
She could have tore.
Yeah.
He should have shot him to death and kept it the fuck moving. You don't get to rush this. You don't even ask him any questions. You just
Come
save
on,
your fucking
man.
life.
Yeah, but she's
Josh.
emotional. That's why she wanted to
Josh,
torture him.
That was your family member, nigga. You would have did the same shit she did, bro. How's
Exactly.
she an asshole?
Nah,
Your
it would have
family-
been way
Your
worse than that.
supporting family members probably would have went with you to go kill Joel ass too, bro. Like we talk.
I would have brought
All
him
right,
back.
all right,
I would
all
have
right,
made
let
that
me-
shit
wait,
last
wait,
month.
wait,
You killed the whole
hold on,
fucking
wait,
clique,
hold
bruh.
on.
Look,
Hold on,
look,
hold
look.
on,
Killed
wait,
the whole fucking clique,
Wait,
bruh.
hold on, wait.
He
Let me
killed
ask you.
the
Let me
whole
ask you something.
family,
Let me
my
ask
nigga.
you something,
Come
Lawrence.
on,
Let me
man.
ask you something,
What's up?
Lawrence. Let me ask you something.
Yes. Go ahead, bro.
Let's say you adopted a kid, right? I know you know where this is going. I know you do.
No, I don't. I just hear y'all keep cutting these scenarios, bro. But
You just cut a
not taking
scenario
it from
too.
the
You just
I
created
didn't cut a
Yeah,
scenario.
you did,
You
yeah.
I
just
didn't
did. You just
Okay,
said
But
go
that
ahead.
happens in
No,
real
I
life,
put you in the
dude.
shoes of the character. I didn't create a whole new scenario. I said if that was you, you would did the same shit that she did. I
Yes.
said put
I would
your
have
foot-
killed that motherfucker,
I
but I
would've
wouldn't have
murdered
took my
that
time.
shit.
I would have
Yeah,
shot
me
his
too.
ass and kept it moving.
Okay, that's just a different type of people. That's
But
all it is. It don't matter.
the thing about it is, if you here's the thing. I would definitely a lot of murder. I've watched this shit on ID investigation discovery. A lot of the times when somebody has a murderer, the first fucking thing they do is ask the murderer why. Why? She didn't ask no fucking questions. He fucking saved her fucking ass. And that should have automatically been like something else is fucking going on. Not only that, but to ask you the question in the scenario, let me pitch this shit back to you. If you adopted a fucking daughter, and you was going to take her to a place where she can get fucking help or whatever the case is, and they told you straight up and down, first of all, they bust you in your fucking mouth when you first got there. Then when you get up there, they say, yo, we have to kill this girl for this fucking vaccine. We have to. That's your fucking daughter. What would you have done?
Wait. See, you get too. Before I answer that question, you thinking I'm protecting one of these characters? I'm not protecting them. I just think I believe in karma. Everybody got what the fuck was coming in the situation. I'm not protecting anybody. I'm not for one side or the other. They're in a fucked up situation and fucked up
So
shit
I
happened.
don't want to hear nothing about
I
people
didn't
saying that
protect any
Joel
character.
is a horrible person. I should never hear anything about Joel being a horrible person in this story.
So your question,
Ever.
Yeah.
that question's not for me. That's for somebody else.
No, I get you.
I
But I should never hear again. I should never hear this again about Joel
not
being
for
a
me.
horrible person. Not for
You
you.
never heard that from
In
me.
general.
Yeah, you never.
I know I didn't.
You heard from other people. Yeah, you're gonna hear from other
I
people.
did. My whole situation is I should never, ever never hear this shit again. Ever. About
You
how
asking for too
bad
much.
Joe is. There's many fucking cases of everybody being fucked up in this world. Don't tell me about Joe.
I know one thing. Before this game came out, everybody was like, "Yo, I can't wait to jump back into The Last of Us with Joel and Ellie. I wonder what their bitch is gonna be this time." And then they get The Last of Us Part 2, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, fuck Joel. He's a bad person. Fuck him."
Nah,
Actually,
come on,
most
man.
people
Nah,
stopped playing about
he
an hour
did
and a half
bad
into the
things,
game.
but he's still likable. There's a
No,
difference
but
between being.
nobody. I mean, it's oh yeah, Joel's likable, and we all knew about his fucked up, whatever
We
fucked up thing
certainly
he did
did,
from the
Yeah,
and
but
we
that
first.
doesn't
accepted,
negate that.
and we
It's like a
accepted.
morality thing.
But
You can be like a
that's
good like you can like a person, but he can still do bad things.
but what I'm saying
And
is when
Yeah, I was
but,
always cheering
but
for the
look,
Empire.
but with the same with with that being said, he's not the only person in that world that does those things. But everybody's used Joel as because of the way it turned out.
No,
yeah,
He's the only
you
that's
know what
bad
like
it is.
person,
You know
and
what
the
it is,
reason
Killer
why
Tay.
that
look
all
at
this
You know
Red
what it
Dead
is.
happened.
Redemption,
You
for
know what it is.
example.
You know what it
Arthur
is, Killer
Morgan is
Tay.
not technically a good person.
You know what it is.
He's a murderer too, but you still like him.
You know what it is, Killer Tay. But we don't hear the same shit with Red Dead Redemption. But you know what it is, Killer Tay.
Yeah,
It's
with that.
because Abby is a shitty written character, and when you have a problem with fucking Abby, automatically you're just mad because you liked him. Joel's your father. That's nothing to do with it.
I disagree. I think
You just
everyone's
you
actions
just
in the
the
game was
2 weeks ago,
justifiable.
2 weeks ago, you told me that. Oh, because she got killed by Abby. That's not the reason why I don't like the fucking game. I had to tell you that. Me and Tay had to tell your ass that we didn't like it because of that. That is always the default of everybody that don't like the fucking game. It's always because of Joel. No one said that. I don't like the game because it's written terribly. I don't know how anybody can't see it. They gaslit you into hating Joel, and liking Abby for the people that was doing it. They gaslit you to do that shit.
Josh, you don't like
I like
the
Joe.
story.
Joe, I just said being innocent.
You don't like the story, and Tay don't like the story, and that's okay. Like, and I like the story. That's okay. Like, dude, it's whatever. We have difference of
No, and
opinion.
I'm not mad
That's
at
what it
you
is. Like,
for
why are
liking.
we?
I'm not mad at you for liking the game, but when I hear that same fucking argument over and over and over again about me not liking this
Yeah,
fucking game because Joe got his
yeah,
brains busted in, or I'm a homophobe,
Yeah, that's
or I'm a
yeah, that's
fucking.
not cool.
None of that is true.
That's not cool. That's not cool. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
It's
That's
okay to
why we
not like
have
the
to.
game,
I
bro.
don't
That's
like.
cool.
That's the
It's things
whole thing.
about the game
Yeah,
that I don't like as well. You know what I'm saying? But it's, everybody take the shit a little differently, bro.
But I
But
don't
I
know
think it's
why.
fucked up for everybody to push everybody into
I
one
don't know
vision.
why this game gets fucking nitpicked and all this bullshit. Like, why are we having these
Because it
arguments,
has
bro? If you don't
200,
like it, you
it
don't like.
has
I think
280 fucking awards, and when I don't want to say any fucking thing about The Last of Us, when I shut the fuck up about the game, there's always somebody that's fucking talking about the game for no reason. No one.
Yeah, it's because
And then
people
all of a
like it,
sudden,
and it's
wait, hold on, wait. No one, right?
Mhm.
Nothing. And then all of a sudden, oh, so many guys are upset about Joel dying. Fool, I didn't even say nothing. What are you talking about? It's not even The Last of Us at this point. It's this stupid bitch, whoever the fuck it is, that's saying this shit. I don't even like you just lumped everybody the fuck together. Like I said before, The Last of Us became a fucking movement. More so than a game that people liked. I guarantee you all those fucking Twitter people that have been playing this game beat that shit once and kept it the fuck moving. Whether it be
yeah,
anecdotal or not.
yeah.
My
Don't
issue
tell
is
me why I don't like the
my
game
issue.
when I
Don't
just
tell
told you
me
I don't
why I
like
don't fucking like the game. And it's already, if you wrote stories, the game sucks written wise. It's not as poor pacing. Every other game gets shredded to fucking pieces when they have poor pacing, but this one doesn't. That's my issue. You get 180 awards. Why did you get 180 awards when there's so many flaws with this fucking game? The same situation was fucking Cyberpunk. Before the game got fucking blasted. All these fucking awards. Y'all knew this shit was fucked up, but you gave it awards.
Well, that game wasn't even
But
finished.
you can do that with any game, dude. You can
But
do
we're
that with
talking
Zelda.
about The
Zelda got like
Last of Us and
300
how
years.
volatile that fucking community is. The fucking developers are fucking volatile. I was looking at a Nintendo Direct. All of a sudden, fucking Haley Gross jumped in the fucking chat talking about something. I didn't know they were making The Last of Us for the Switch because fucking Mario had a golf club. Are you fucking kidding me? You're a fucking you're a developer. Why are you saying shit like this? Make the fucking sequel and shut the fuck up. And then you got
Ignore it, dude.
and then you got people, right? That is developers of Naughty Dog. Oh my god, white men again. What? What? I'm not even fucking white, and it's fucking irritating to see. It's like fucking irritating. Get over your fucking self. That's why I don't like it. I don't like it because of that. And then when people say there's no agenda, there's no agendas. I have never played a heterosexual fucking game that had so many heterosexual moments in it. I've never played it. All the moments in the fucking games were fleeting. You had the fucking ass tap from Uncharted 2. You're gonna miss this ass from Uncharted 2. And then fucking what do you call it? Nathan Drake kissed fucking what's her name? Elena.
Yeah.
This game has some women that look like
or Deacon looking at his wife's ass.
right, and that was one fucking fleeting moment, and the world melted because of that shit. A regular fucking and might I add that the LGBT community covers what 2% of the fucking world population out of 7 billion people.
I don't think it's that high.
And it may not even be that high. It is not that plentiful. It is not that plentiful as what this media is portraying it to be.
It might be that high because there's a lot of undercover.
I don't know. I know a lot of gay people that ain't never had sex with anybody, so I don't really count that shit.
All right, I want to say this before we get off.
If you don't like men or women, you just fucking just don't give a fuck.
This bitch
I
is a
don't really
fucking,
consider you gay.
This bitch is a fucking energy orb. That's what the fuck it is. Fucking floating around and shit. The fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? What is this? So the way I wanted to talk about, since we're on that subject, because I think that ultimately we've been on a tangent for like an hour basically on this, but I think that the sales for The Last of Us 2 was impacted by this game, by what happened in their moral compass. I think it did. You shouldn't be ashamed of it. You have 112 million PlayStation 4s, and all of a sudden you can't announce that you sold X amount of things. You announced it when it first came out, and then you went hush hush, but you're showing awards all over the place. So that makes me suspicious as to the sales numbers. What I wanted to say, and I want to ask you guys this too, while we're 5 niggas in a room. I am curious to see what you guys think, since we are on the topic. It's very similar. Do you guys? I'm gonna ask Tay first, because me and Tay be on the same page, and I feel like even though we have strong fucking personalities and we have strong beliefs in things, I feel like Tay and I are extremely open-minded as people. That being said, why do you think there's an influx of so many LGBT people?
I don't know. That's just been going on since like 2010, man. I don't know.
Tay,
I went into the army.
Tay,
What
happened to your voice, Tay?
Man, I went into the army. I ain't never met nobody gay. When I got home, everyone was gay.
I'm going to say this. I'm including undercover brothers too. Why do you think that is, Tay?
Why do I think there's an influx in it? Because it's more commercialized now.
I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say this. You guys tell me if I'm right or wrong.
It's the cool thing to do.
I'm not saying that. I think there is a legitimate situation. the systems that are at play, the gears to be social order is breaking down, and that's what's causing this to happen. If you must know what I think, right? A man and a woman have different roles, and neither role is better than the other. But we are genetically disposition, whatever. You know what I'm saying? To act our roles, right?
Yeah.
A man has denser
I see.
bones, thicker skin, are stronger than a female, and we lack a good amount of emotional capacity to be nurturers. But nurturers are very, very, very powerful because they need to nurture the young to become the strong men that they need to be. So somebody needs to protect the nurturer, which is the man. And the cycle continues and continues and continues. But what if you fuck up the order of things?
We're gonna find out.
That's what I believe is happening. I believe this is happening. This is gonna be controversial as shit, but fuck it. This whole
I don't think that's something you believe. I think that's just evident.
it is evident, but some people think that no, that's not happening. No, this always
Fucking
happens.
living in a cave.
So, well, people believe that it always happened, even in the past, but you have waves, dips, crests, and valleys, right, of society. You
This is
get
a
really
big-ass
high, and
valley.
everything's working just fine, and it just crashes. We have civilization that collapsed, and we don't know. The lack of order is why it collapsed. So going back to what I was saying, is that if what does a typical heterosexual man want? What does he want? He wants to procreate.
Sex.
He wants sex. He is
He wants to survive and procreate.
right. That's what he's designed to do, and he will do anything to do it. This is where the female comes in. This is why men had to have good jobs, right? Great jobs, and be protectors. We had to be bigger than a female. We had to show the female that we were capable of being providers and protectors. And that was our way, because women are the gatekeepers of the bedroom. That was our way, or their way, of opening the doors when they saw that we can provide and protect, right? So
Yep.
women have pussy dangling in front of the man. That's our weakness. What a weakness is for a woman is the nurturing aspect to things, which is the reason why they keep finding shitty ass niggas. They just can't help themselves into nurturing some fucked up shit all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Oh, I can fix him. Oh, I could just build him the fuck up because they nurture us. Why? Because everything is out of whack and out of order. There's no children for the women to nurture, so they're nurturing broke ass fucking niggas. So, that being said, right? Since women don't need a protector or a provider because they can do it on their own, what is a guy to do? The only thing that a guy had, because women want to be like men now, if you haven't noticed, women want to be like men. They want to be promiscuous like men. It's why they have OnlyFans all over the fucking place, right? It's why they go on Instagram and they show their titties and all this other shit, right?
Thirst traps.
They want their attention because women are more social than men. That's a part of the nurturing factor, right? All right, cool.
Yep.
So people want to deny the biological fucking programming that we have. They want to deny it so bad, right? So men are doing a couple of different things. Since men have to have sex, that is unanimous. We have to. We have to get our daily.
Well, I'm having sex anymore.
We have to have our daily busted nut. Our daily busted nut. We have to have it. That's why the porn industry is fucking crazy. But more importantly, when that shit stops working, like any other thing in the world, what I've noticed was wild things. What I noticed is that men are going towards the DL route to get that actual feeling. The prison route.
Yep.
I don't want nobody, because the woman ain't giving it up. The woman is like, I can do my own shit. So, you know what I mean? I don't need a man. All I want is the attention and keep it moving. So where's
No, bro. Come on.
Come on,
I
Hus.
can't agree
Go
with that
on.
last
Go
part,
on.
bro.
Go
Bro,
on.
I don't agree with that at all, bro. If they wanted fucking, they want men already if they were going down that road. They're already gay. They're already like bisexual, whatever.
Ain't nobody going gay because they
Ain't
can't beat
nobody
no
going
ass,
down that
bro.
road just for
You was
fucking.
I
you was
want you to
already
do
like
me.
that.
I want you to
ass.
do me a favor, right? When we all get off of here, here's what I want you to do. If you don't want to take my word for it, like LeVar Burton says, right? Go ahead and look at the success rate for all dating websites and what the complaints are for women. Women are stating that they cannot find men at all. At all. What happened?
It's because women are picky.
Man, they full of
And
shit, bro. Come on, man.
and they're picky for
Come
what
on,
reason?
bro.
We're half the
Man,
we're half the
motherfuckers,
population.
when they do
Hey,
these fucking
it's
surveys, people be lying half the
yo,
fucking time, bro. Don't put in no
yeah.
Bro,
damn
hey,
surveys,
let me
bro.
get my piece out.
And
They full
Women
of
are
shit, bro. Come
classist.
on, man.
Women
my
are
bad.
And
classist.
because and because they so picky and always lying on these surveys, they put themselves in a hole. And
In the
those
worst
Yes.
men
position they
that
was
want them,
before.
but the men that want them, the women don't want them. So they go to other men.
Yep.
you want to know
So
what's
they actually creating the problem.
You want to know what's crazy? You want to know what's
Yeah.
crazy?
Yeah,
You want to know what's
they
crazy?
full
I
of shit.
see a lot of sus shit on social media, vicariously, just looking at this shit. That little Nas video. I mean, I'm not gay, but I mean, he got me feeling some kind of way because he busted wide open on the. What is this?
Who the fuck said that?
Man, the shit that I see on social media, I would overload your fucking phone by sending you screenshots of this Twitter frivolity.
If he said that on social media,
No one,
Bruh.
but you
he was gay to begin with.
That's what
Bro, like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like when somebody show you who they is, dog, believe them, dog. Like fuck all the bullshit, bro. That nigga's like, oh, I'm not this, but you know what I'm saying. He either trying to be super funny or this nigga is that he's that way, bro. Like it is what it is, bro. Like
So you
That nigga
think,
gay.
so you think this, right? Even if what I say has an iota of truth, are you telling me, right? Because again, there's a whole bunch of other statistics saying that, well, you know, not everybody is completely one side or whatever, right? And then you got media that also distorts your viewpoints, right? And then you have the malleable personality of a human. You're telling me that women that are super stubborn and I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. A bitch will sit there and see a guy that has his shit together, and the first thing she thinks about is he's a player. Okay.
Or not even
But
that.
men,
Or not even
I would,
that.
I'm not to generalize,
He
but
lame.
men that are high status generally get more pussy.
They get, you know why they
That's
get more?
'cause they paying
You
for
know
it.
why they get more
That's 'cause
pussy?
they paying
It's
for
one
it.
of two things. They're paying for it, and women have a knack for wanting things that they can't obtain. Like
Or
if you,
shouldn't have.
like if you treat a girl right, and Jeremy knows about this shit. If you treat a girl, and I hate to say this because it's so fucking true, but it's so controversial to say. If you treat a girl disrespectfully, you get more success. Shocker.
Yeah, depending, yeah.
You could be
Sometimes
nice to
90%
a
of
you could
women
be
do.
nice to a girl. Oh, he corny.
That shit don't get you nowhere.
He's corny. Why is he so corny? Like I just want
Yeah,
I don't
you
want a
can't be
bad
too
guy.
agreeable.
Yo,
No.
I had to I had to deal with that shit so much when I was growing up. The businesses, none of the businesses that I wanted me until I had got into the army, and then I didn't want them. They had like 18 kids.
And then
Why
as
the
a
fuck
nerve
you
and
want
then
me when you
If
fucking
you would have never
18
wanted
kids
them
and
though,
done?
they would have wanted you.
that's the thing. I
Yeah.
sat there and I've done some fucked up shit. Not fucked up as in horrible, but fucked up as in that you were an asshole, Josh. I did this shit just to test the waters to see is this really fucking true. I ignored
Yes.
her. I put it left a girl on red many times.
That makes them want it more.
They're like, oh, he's not looking at me. What am I doing wrong? Am I that ugly? And then they want to chase you to try to win you over. And then when they finally win you over, then they don't want you no more. This is why when people get married, the sex game drops. They don't need to do anything anymore. It's done. They caught you.
That's why Jax got caught. Team Jax.
I think there's a lot of factors into why
I'm sure there is.
mating habits are fucked up right now. Like, did you see that survey of men not having sex? Like, they're virgins. There's more virgins now than ever
Because
before.
they fucking beating their meat.
What do you think that
they
is?
don't know. They don't know if they're supposed to like guys or girls or fucking what the fuck.
It's
like
no. It's because they're fucking they're addicted to video games. We're all gamers here, but they're full on addicted to video games.
No,
They're obsessed with this waifu and this fucking simping bullshit online where they got the e-girls. So they got all this other entertainment instead of just chasing girls. They got all this other stuff to do besides chasing girls. And plus, our diet is fucking dog shit. Western society's diet and lack of exercise is just fucking our testosterone and literally making our balls smaller.
Here's the thing, because the order of which, because I believe men are supposed to be the providers and the protectors, right? That's what I believe. That's what it looks like. Everything is. We have that hardwired into us to do that shit, and now the order is fucked up, right? All that shit.
Yeah, but now you can't own a home. You can't own a home if you don't have a partner that works.
Usually, back in the day, the guy used to be, I would say, not the head of the household, but he controlled protecting the household and being the provider, right? So
yeah, and the woman would
now,
usually organize,
and then the woman will organize the shit.
in the home.
Now it's different. Women.
Well,
mostly,
now people overwork.
Wait. Women mostly rule the shit, especially when it comes to jobs and shit like that. Women mostly rule that shit. They mostly rule it. But here's the problem: the rules, because everything. A woman is more emotional. That's the end of it. But when it comes to emotional, there's a lack of fucking logic. See, a woman can let herself go and have 3 kids, and a bitch have the audacity to go onto a dating website and say that I don't want a man with kids. And you gotta be fucking fit. And if I say once, I think you need to kind of trim up and, maybe you need to go to the gym with me. You're fat shaming.
Yeah, it's because women know that they can get guys. That's it. If they open themselves up, they can get any fucking low life scum.
They used to be able to get guys. And now, because they're not taking care of themselves, and that's how you know, like, the younger girls, the guys are just telling them whatever they fucking want to hear. And against their own intuition, they're just fucking with the dudes. And
fat chicks are still getting fucked.
Fat chicks are getting fucked out of necessity.
There's more male virgins and there's more female virgins. Let's just say that.
Because of
alcohol
I
always
wouldn't
helps
even,
them out.
I wouldn't even say that, because there's some big girls that are safe, right?
Shit, who's cutting out? Is that
they're
me?
healthy. Is that me?
What happened? Cutting off. No, you good.
Is that me?
No, you good.
Okay. It's some big girls.
There's different variables of big.
Yeah. You can't say all fat girls, but some fat girls are right.
There's different levels.
Yeah,
but some situations is where some of the stuff that they want is so out of control, and it's like, are you fucking serious, or is this real life? He needs to speak different languages. He needs to have a bachelor's degree. He needs to be in shape, but not too much in shape, because I don't like too many muscles, because that makes me feel bad, and I can't have my mocha lattes either, and it makes me feel really bad about that. So you can't be too in shape, because that lets me know that you're too involved with your own body.
He has to be 6'11".
He has to be a 7'4" a Nephilim. He has to, like, what are you creating? Like, what is this elusive fucking animal that you want? And you know what the funny thing is? Women like tall guys, not because of aesthetics, because in their brain and then their genetics, they are pre-programmed to want to see a protector. Big means protector. That's why they like that shit. They see a short ass nigga, they're like, this nigga can't fucking protect me. He can't do shit. The fuck, I can pick his ass up. Another thing that I'm noticing too when it comes to females is that they claim with their mouths that I don't want to be objectified. And then turn around and show their titties on fucking Twitter.
And Instagram.
And Instagram. And OnlyFans. Then they sit there and say that.
Yeah, then they're on OnlyFans.
And then they're like, oh, I don't understand why guys look at me like this.
Is that you cutting out?
No, I'm not cutting out.
Nah. It might be you.
Yeah, but
Hey guys, I need to go.
all right, man. You
Is
take
that
it easy.
alright?
Yeah, take it easy, man. Thank you.
Have a nice night.
You too.
Yeah, you too, man.
I'm about to wrap this shit up anyway. I gotta eat. But yeah, you get all this shit, right? All this shit, all these complaints about how a guy is supposed to be, right? And then they don't want to concede to themselves. Like, none of it is internal. Like, they did a study about women that dealt with divorces. The guy, when he got into a divorce, asked, what did I do wrong? The woman, when she got into a divorce, says, why, what did I could have found better, basically. And she triggered the divorce, too. She didn't want to be with the dude.
Why?
So, they don't look internally. You know what I mean? Because society has propped them up to be that type of person where, everything they do is good. That's why they can go back 30 years and say that I've been touched or looked at inappropriately. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate to me. It really is. It's unfortunate that.
Oh yeah, it's always a double standard.
It is, and it's not ragging on women or anything like that, but it's a double standard. Like I said, I treated a girl. I sat there, and I told this girl. I said, she told me that she had a bad relationship, right? I said, what happened in your relationship? She was like, well, the man, he forced me to have sex with his friend, and I didn't want any of that. And then her phone fucking rang. Not rang, but the text message, the alert. And then I was like, yo, who's John? I said, is that your ex? How did you know it was my ex? I was just guessing. Is it? Yeah, it is. I thought you said you had a bad relationship with him. I mean, we still talk. You just said that he basically forced you to have sex with his friend. But you're still talking to him. Where's the logic in that? That's the biggest problem that I'm dealing with, huh?
There is no logic.
That's what happens when people have emotions. If you're emotional, you don't think clearly. It doesn't matter who it is. If I'm pissed off, I'm not thinking clearly. Like, you play Demon Souls, right? Or Dark Souls,
Yeah.
and you're getting your ass kicked. You start fucking up hardcore. You're so fucking angry at this, you start making dumbass fucking mistakes. Anything that is emotional needs to be tempered with, you need to step back and cool off. That's just what it is. But it's unfortunate. Like I said, everything that's going on, I mean, people can get mad at me and think that that's not the truth, but we'll see soon enough that the disorder of things is causing chaos. It's breaking down society. And, Tay, I mean, we were talking about this earlier. I go onto a dating website, right? And
Yeah.
you know what I find because of the disorder of things? I'll find transgendered men. And because society,
Oh yeah, I remember you. Yeah.
and because
Yeah,
society,
I remember you saying it.
because society says that I'm supposed to accept him as a woman because he did the operation, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm not supposed to not be pissed off that he called himself a woman, but he's not genetically. No matter how many operations you have, you cannot ever have a kid, ever. Your pelvis, and your genetics won't allow you to do it. But society
You can
says
claim to be an ego, but that don't mean you're an ego. I don't give a shit
I
what you
know, but
identify
society says I'm supposed to accept it. Period. That's what society told me I'm supposed to do. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I have to accept that. That's what society told me to do. Which is
I identify as a 65-year-old man, therefore I want my social security check.
right, but for some reason,
I want
That's
that
how I
shit
feel.
now.
but for
That's
some
how I
reason,
I
feel.
want that shit now and on time.
but for some reason,
I want that
reason,
shit
right,
on the 1st and the 15th.
but for some reason, right, for some reason though, this is where we're going. The disorder of things is what's causing this frivolity. It's foolishness. It's what it is. You sit there and you claim that, oh, I want to be this, and then eventually the law gets passed. Now, going back to this transgender person, right? Legitimately look like a female from certain angles, right? You know what guys are attracted to, right? They're usually attracted to ass, big asses, right?
Yeah.
So what happened if a dude have an ass?
Yeah.
And had an
Yeah,
operation?
surgery.
And had an operation. What happens then?
Now he got an ass.
Nah.
He can post that bitch. Post that bitch in the pic.
And there are some niggas
To
out there,
attract
and there are
more
some
men.
niggas out there that will literally say, "I'm not gay, but I'm not getting any right now. I don't think of this romantically. I'm gonna smash this shit and keep it the fuck moving." There are people like this, and you in the military, I'm sure you've heard of them before.
That
No,
ain't me.
not really.
That
Them
ain't
niggas
me.
gay.
Nigga, I always had me an ugly bitch on the sides. Always
Them
had me
niggas
an
gay,
ugly
bro.
bitch on the side with a
They full
body.
of shit.
Oh
Always
shit.
had me an ugly bitch on the side with a body. I would never. I don't know. It don't matter what you do. You in the army and you go to the club and you have a fucking slow night. There's always an ugly bitch waiting on you.
On
Yep.
on.
I was going home. I was
Waiting
going home with a
on
10 or a
you.
2 or somewhere in between, but I wasn't going home
Yes.
alone.
Yes.
On deck, on deck, on deck.
Yeah.
I don't
I
mind
start
that
with
at
a
all.
10 and I
There's always an
I
ugly
worked my
bitch
way down
on
until I
deck.
got something.
Yo. If that the first couple of ticks didn't fucking act right, I was on the ugly
Wait.
bitch quickly.
Killer Tay, are you on your
Yo.
yo? Can you go on your Discord, yo?
Go on the
Not
Discord.
Discord. I'm sorry. What the fuck you call that shit again? Twitter. Hello.
Yeah.
Are you able to go on your Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on the Twitter.
All right, I just sent you something. About 25 seconds. Yo, Lawrence, are you playing anything? Are you off tomorrow?
Oh
Nah,
no!
I gotta work tomorrow.
Damn,
Why
for
did
real?
you send that? Oh
But
my god!
not till tonight, right? Or the at
This
night, right?
nigga, that's a stripper pole. What the fuck?
Oh, what y'all looking at?
Nothing that you want to say.
I can't.
I
Even,
will respect your wishes.
yeah, I can't do that. I can't. I stopped it halfway.
You saw that shit, right?
I don't
Yeah.
know if I want to know.
That's this nigga went
Oh,
full
it's a nigga.
splits
Nah,
down
I'm
the
good.
stripper pole to hell. No,
It's
No.
a dude. That's all you have to say, bro.
No.
Nah.
That's the
No.
that's the fucking that's on Twitter. It's on Twitter. It is sure as it pop up. You know.
Oh my god.
But that was I didn't send him a video clip. I just sent him a tweet. That somebody I retweeted somebody. That's on my timeline because somebody that is straight is retweeting that shit that's younger than us. And the younger they get, the more liberal they become. So that's what's happening there. Talk about some good job. You saw that shit.
Good vibes, my ass.
Oh
that.
man, I said, what the fuck? That's all I'm saying. So this is what we're going to start seeing more and more, and it's going to become more disorderly. That's just what it is. There's a nature way of things transpiring. You know what I mean? And it looked like humans are hell bent on just wanting to do the opposite of everything that's was already predetermined in your fucking genetics in general. Women want to be men. apparently, and men want to be like chicks, and I don't mean that in like in a sexual way. Men are being extra
And
emotional.
yo, and then it's crazy because like men
And we about
going
to
into
wrap this
like
up in like a minute or two.
yeah, and it's crazy because men going into like beauty pageants for women and winning fucking awards, and the women are allowing that shit.
They
That's
won't. They
the
won't allow
fucking
it. They
crazy
won't. They
fucking
won't
shit about
allow
it.
it. They won't allow it when it starts fucking with their shit.
It is. It's already is.
Cause I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
right.
no shit.
I'm gonna tell you right
Women
now.
It
ain't
already
winning no
is.
bodybuilding competitions no more because the men are whipping their ass.
Look, yeah.
You wanna
It
know?
was on. I think I seen a video of a woman that's one of the fucking athletes, like a boxing athlete. I think the chick that got fucking
Damn near
knocked out by
killed the
that
girl.
man. Yeah, that cracked her skull, and she's like,
Yeah.
"I'm tired of fucking men in our fucking our sport.
You wanna know
Fucking
what
trans,
nobody? You wanna know what
fucking
nobody?
man."
You wanna nobody ever thinks of? Nobody ever thinks of this, right? They always talk about men encroaching in a woman's space, right? What about the opposite? What about the opposite? If a woman wanted to be a man, if she transitions into a man and tries to go into a bodybuilding competition, she would lose every time.
Look,
Well, yeah, they wouldn't waste their fucking
yeah,
time if they couldn't
they're
be.
losing. It's already been proven
They couldn't
that the
make it to the
women that
tournament.
the women that the transition women that go over to men's sport, they never win anything. But the men that transition and go into the women's sport wins everything.
Blows their shit completely. I went to the gym and this one lady, she tells me this. I'll tell the story. I'm gonna wrap it up. She tells me this, right? She says she runs because I was talking to the front counter and she runs to the thing. Oh my God, there's a man in my bathroom. And there was like, it was a man. What do you mean? I mean, well, it's a guy. He's a cross dresser, and he was like, well, we can't say anything to him or her. We can't say anything to her. What do you
So
mean?
I'm glad I don't have daughters. I can go into the bathroom with them.
She was like, what do you?
bullshit.
She was like, what do you mean? It's, he identifies as a woman, so he's a woman. That's what we mean. We can't do anything about it. There was even a prisoner that identified as a female. This is fucked up. He identified as a female when he went to prison. They took him to a female prison, and he raped mad women. Why you?
I heard
laughing?
about that.
That's fucked up, man. This nigga's
It's fucked up. It's fucked up. I'm laughing not at what happened, but at the situation where they knew that shit was gonna fucking happen.
This is why you need order of things.
And
You
they
can't
let
not
it
just
happen anyway.
You cannot, because they don't want the smoke. This is what happens when you say you can do anything you want. You can't do anything you want. There needs to be order. Period.
Too scared of the smoke, bro. They too scared, bro.
They are
Everybody's scared
terrified
to
of
be
that
in
shit, yo.
smoke,
They don't
bro.
want that smoke.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
They're like, if
they
I say this,
knew
then
that.
we're gonna get sued. But at the same time, look what the fuck this motherfucker lied and said that maybe he was bisexual. He fucking said, I'm a woman. One in there, okay, fine. We have to accept you as a woman. The law states that you a fucking woman. Get your ass in here. The motherfucker was
Yo,
easy
and I'm
pickings.
surprised that the women in the women prison didn't shank that motherfucker after the first two rapes.
Yeah, that nigga supposed to got killed.
For real, like hardcore. They should have been killed. Maybe they were afraid. Who knows? But that's the type of foolishness that's going on. When you start doing
Shit.
whatever the fuck you want and you start pushing these things. I told this the last time, I believe. You keep seeing enough things, and eventually you start to believe this shit. No matter who you fucking are. Now we're believing that shit is okay. That's not okay. I never would have thought in my wildest dreams that there was fucking, that you would be able to raise your newborn baby without a fucking gender. And you
Confusing that child.
confusing the fuck out that child. Or
Yeah, people are getting mad like we're having gender reveals because you're like, they have to decide their own gender. It's like, motherfucker ain't even born yet. What the fuck are you talking about?
there's that, right? You know what I'm saying? And the laws are so fucked up. A minor cannot determine certain things, right?
A 4-year-old should not be determining fucking
But
what their sexual orientation is.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A minor cannot determine whether they should have sex at a certain age or smoke or credit or anything like that. But they
But
somehow,
they can change your gender.
but they can change your fucking gender. Like it's so fucked up across the fucking board to me. It doesn't make any sense. And if you medicate the person or do the therapy, you are fucking that body up. Why? Because they see on TV that that's okay to take hormone pills or whatever the fuck you're taking to fuck up your growth. Everybody's agreeing.
It's even,
Well-
and what make it so bad, it's even like the females that transition to males and the males that transition to females, they are reversing it now.
I know
There's some videos on YouTube that the motherfuckers are reversing.
They got the highest suicide rate of any fucking.
You know why? Because they can't change
demographic
they
of people.
Change it. This one girl, she was bad, man. I mean, Megan Fox bad. Thought to herself because she was confused because of all the barrage of shit. You just keep seeing it over and over and over and over again, right? This is why I say it's a slippery slope, putting it in every fucking thing. It's a story about whatever shouldn't be like, you shouldn't have those type of things, politics in your shit. If you want people to decide on what they should do, you should just remove it from your fucking story and let them think about how they want to feel. But that's not the case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So two parts. This girl looked like Megan Fox, banging, right? She tried to transition into a man. Took the fucking hormones. She has a deep ass fucking voice, looking like Megan Fox. Her chin line, right, is fucked up too because of the testosterone. Now she's like, I mean, now I gotta live with what I did. I gotta live with this shit, but I'm comfortable now. You know what I'm saying? But now she sounds like she's even more fucked up. It turns out that she just wasn't attracted to anybody. Like she just has a low self.
That's what I said earlier. That's most of the people that consider themselves gay. They just don't like nothing.
So here's another thing too. Last thing.
I met a lot of gay guys who've never kissed a man or a woman. I'm like, you just fucking just unsocial, motherfucker.
Like you unsocial. Now go over there and sit down. So the thing that I wanted to say, the last thing, is that I don't have a problem with saying that the person is gay or straight, but why does it always have to be sexual? Like extreme sexual. That video that I just showed you, Tay, like he could have just said that he liked dudes and kept it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you only have underwear on, sliding down a fucking stripper pole. The same thing on the other side of the fence.
Splits on the way all the way down.
That's the ludicrousy is like outrageous. Like they playing this shit at 4:00 in the afternoon on TV. The same thing with WAP. I didn't like that shit either. WAP, wet ass pussy, wet ass pussy. If I had a daughter, yo, I'd be pissed. I don't not want to have my daughter. And the funny thing is, it's mature content. I'm not making it for them. But the media is showing that shit. Full on lesbian action, right? Not only that, but they're playing it. And it's not even about them playing it or the context, but the fucking lyrics are so graphic. She was grinding up on Meg Thee Stallion at 8:00 p.m. where people was looking at a regular award show. I came to look at an award show, right? To see who's gonna win something, and you're fucking on stage. My fucking kids, Janet Jackson got fucking blasted for her fucking titty being exposed with the nipple covered.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you can just fuck on stage. Like what are we doing?
And that wasn't even on purpose.
No shit. That was a malfunction.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Justin just got too aggressive. I bless him for it though.
He's stupid. Everybody was looking for that.
Everyone that a lot.
Let me see that chocolate titty.
Yeah. You can look, even Justin Timberlake, when he ripped the thing off, he was like, oh,
he's
shit.
like, oh fuck.
And they cut it off. It was on the screen for 0.45 seconds.
Yeah, I know. You know how hard it was to freeze frame for that shit?
And then they drugged this chick all the way in there. Now you got, why does it have to be sexualized? I don't really care about what you're doing, but like this is what you're doing. You're showing kids to be whores. on either side of the fucking way. You showing them how to stripper dance. That's the problem that I have. I don't mind you saying it, but the content. If I was like me being heterosexual, and I have made a game where I'm fucking, or if I'm on stage, people are like, that is unacceptable. I have children. How dare you? But if it's a fucking LGBT community, they could just fuck on stage
cool.
and nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants that smoke.
You got cross dressers is the fucking people visiting schools and shit.
It ain't even about being cross dressers, it's the context of things.
I know, it's just like what they're exposed to at a young age.
Like, okay, fine. If you want people to understand that there's different pieces in the world, fine. Okay,
let them get above the age of 6.
But I'm saying, let him. But all he's doing is wearing a dress, right? Fine. Let's be fair. But they're taking these kids out to these gay parades, right? And people are sucking dick and walking naked in front of your fucking 6-year-old kid. Like, that's a problem. If there was a heterosexual fucking parade, we did that shit, people would be arrested.
Quickly.
It wouldn't even get
before
off
it even
fucking,
got started.
It wouldn't even get off the
You wouldn't even get the first float up the fucking street.
No questions asked. Just arrest.
instant transmission arrest. You're done. Don't worry about it. You're done. That's all I'm saying.
Indecent exposure. Indecent exposure.
And now you got a record. Hope you can get that shit expunged. Anyway, this is the longest shit I ever did on my own.
Well, you got into politics. I told you not to do this.
Well, no, it's not necessarily politics. Do you really say that?
You can go on for everybody.
But hold on.
I mean, politics or whatever. Whatever.
But do you think it's politics if you have children, right? And motherfuckers is grinding in front of your child? Do you want your kid to see that shit? Is that political?
Nah, I'll just throw some porn on.
Like, could you imagine that shit? Like, could you imagine how unfit of a fucking father or mother or parent you will be if you just had, like, fucking softcore porn running on your TV? Like, from the websites. How unfit would you be? Because that's what the fucking WAP and the fucking now Lil Nas fucking song. That is fucking porno. Softcore, might you add, but it is. And they have this plan on TV. Oh, by the way, they canceled SpongeBob too. They canceled a couple of things. That
what?
SpongeBob did. Yeah. So
they canceled what?
They canceled SpongeBob?
They canceled a couple episodes that he did that was not sensitive to certain things. Yeah, I gotta look into it. Yeah, they're doing too much.
Wow.
They're doing too much. That's what I mean. Like, when does it end? When does it end? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm depressed now, so I'm gonna get some liquor from the store. Thank you.
You can't get drunk.
Thank you guys for watching my show. If you, hopefully you guys
don't
get something out of it.
Don't think we hate gays. We don't. If you're gonna be gay, but don't try to make the world gay.
No, it's not even that. Don't be fucking in front of my children. And saying that shit's a fucking a parade. That's not what's up. Or fucking in a music video. I don't want like. How unfit would you be to do that? Let that shit run in front of your kids. Like, Jeremy has 2 fucking sons. Like, imagine just letting that shit run. You know what I'm saying? And somebody saw that shit. Oh, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I fucking can't deal with it. I mean, everybody say that you're mad. Oh, Josh, you're so mad. Let them just do them. They're not just doing them. Like, it's graphic, man. Like, shit they're doing is graphic, man. On either side. It's not about boy or girl. It's just, I don't want to see nobody fucking anywhere. Unless I'm watching porno.
Watching porn, that's what it's for. Shit's free now, too.
You know what I'm saying? That shit is, like, when I seen Monsters Ball, I had a slight issue with that shit, yo. Even though I watched it later. I just didn't want to see
when
that
I
shit
can see
by myself.
I can see Janet Jackson on TV, like regular TV, getting her back blown out. Then you can start doing whatever you know. But until then, it has to be hidden on a website like Dana James.
I just want to be quiet. I just want to watch those explicit shits by myself. That's all I'm saying. But thank you guys for watching. Now I want the whole audience. That shit was mad awkward watching Monsters Ball in front of my fucking family, man. After that scene was over, I tried to be an adult about the shit. And I didn't have a smartphone to act like I'm just scrolling through shit. I had to watch that shit with my family. So after the scene was done, I couldn't get up to go to the bathroom or no popcorn. I had to sit there and wait for the shit to go down before I can move. So none of that was. I didn't like none of that. I didn't. So, but thank you guys for watching.
What a fucked up episode. Like these guys was arguing the whole goddamn time.
But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Yo, peace out, yo. You should hear the whole show though, low key. Low key.